Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins, the Combat Radio. You know what? Let's not pretend that I didn't cue that up right. I don't like that. Let's do this properly. Let's cue the damn track up right. And I'm not sure it's the track I want to use anyway, but let's at least have the courtesy to cue the damn thing up right and come in right too. Hold on a second. Let me just pick this little bit of fluff off the microphone, off my muffler. A little bit of fluff off my muffler, folks. Sorry about that. Okay, let's start it right. Yes, yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And let's just get the screen right. Let's get the screen right. Dang, we got people up in the area already. Up in the area, causing mass hysteria. Well, there's no need to be hysterical, folks. You are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi 208. Don't get it twisted. That's not 208 live shows. That's just the 208 within the Boxing Talk with Rafi series. I think we're in excess of 300 now. Something like 315. Okay. Hello and welcome. What are we talking about today? We're talking about, as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let's just get the sound check right. Let's make sure you can hear me. Series. I think we're in excess of 300. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I'm audible and laudable. Okay. So, and we are now officially live. Just received the notification. Okay. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about Luis Ortiz. Finally. Hold on a second. Let me do this thing right, because we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. So let's get the link up in the chat so there's no messing around. Okay, so hold on. Let's do this thing properly. Let's share what we're supposed to be sharing. Robot has done his job. So let's get this thing nice and neat. Rafi know how to do it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're looking good now. Okay. So we are talking about Luis Ortiz finally accepting Dillian Whyte's challenge for a scrap. And Luis Ortiz's representatives have said that he's fine to do it in the UK. So we're talking about that. We're talking about the motives. We're talking about the reality, the unreality. And of course, it would be remiss of me not to talk about tonight's extravaganza, available on Dazn. Where are they showing that fight? Canelo versus Callum Smith. We're going to be talking about that also. That's on Dazn. Where are they showing it? Are they showing it on Dazn? I've got Dazn. Or are they showing it on Sky? I don't know. We're going to have to find out. We're going to have to investigate that. And in the lower portion of your screen, the lower right portion, you will see Holly Holm of the UFC. What's that? Waterford girl. What the Karate Hottie, whatever her name is, she's in the green hoodie. Karate Hottie in the green hoodie, and that's her nickname. I didn't just make that up. That's her nickname. And behind, in between, in the middle back, you will see. It's not a very good picture of her. She was in the back. She could have come in the front. She opted to be in the back. Is Clarissa Shields. So that lends validity to the statement that she is indeed training in mixed martial arts. Some people call it UFC, mixed martial arts, because she's down there in Albuquerque, training down there at John Bones Jones. That's his gym. That's not his gym. That's what do they call them guys? Damn, I forgot their names. The owners of the gym. Winklejohn, and whatever the other guy's name is. Yeah, I've forgotten his name. Okay, it's the first guy and John Winklejohn. So Clarissa Shields is indeed down there training MMA in Albuquerque. Okay, so there are a few people in now, but to allow the area to populate properly. What's this here? Oh, let's use this. Do we go over there? Do we go over here? Move that there. Shuffle that around. What's this here? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I got people up in the building. Where's that? It takes a few seconds to come over on the yard thing. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Shows up in YouTube first. What we got here? New comment over there. What's that comment? Where is your regarding only? I gotta respond to this straight away. Some cheeky fella gone in the in another video that I made. So I gotta respond to this this individual. I won't call him a fool. Time constraints. I do have a job, and I also find benefit in sleeping and enjoy its recuperative powers. I've heard the pop-up, but we do in a second. Don't know who it is, but we do in a second. Enjoy its recuperative powers. I will no doubt cover that topic in a live show coming soon. You cheeky Luna. Cheeky Luna. Okay, so I think everything's good. The spelling is nice and correct. It's neat and sweet because the Rafi knows how to do it. Okay, and boom, boom, boom. In comes the man like John D. Lee. John D. Lee, how do you do?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Raf. What's the volume like?
The volume's good, actually. Sound clear. Are you not on the road?
No.
Oh, sounds clear, man. Sounds clear.
It's all right. I'm using the iPad. I don't normally use it.
Clear as a bell mucker. Clear as a bell. Okay, so what's going on here? Let's have a look in the chat. My money is on the red-headed Mexican, the Scottish Mexican. Callum by stoppage. I'm going for all the marbles. OMG, very bold prediction. So it seems like the people want to talk about the Callum Smith versus Canelo first. I was going to do that second, but you know, we go with the people, John. We go with the people. People want to talk about the Callum Smith versus Canelo first, then that we shall do. Okay, so no need for the warming video. Let's get straight. Oh, is the link in the chat? Yeah, link is in the chat. Let's just get straight into it, John. Who do you fancy? Who do you like out of the two, Callum Smith or the Scottish Mexican? I don't know if his dad's done a paternity test.
I think it's a bit of Irish heritage, to be honest with you, Raf. There's a group of Irish Mexicans. I think they're a bit like the Redlegs.
Okay, yeah. Went down
So
to Mexico.
I think that's where it comes from.
Okay, well, Celtic nonetheless. That covers both.
Oh,
Doesn't it?
hey, we're all the same.
All the same underneath. Okay.
No. Like I'm Irish.
You're Irish.
Well, you know what? You know how it goes in Birmingham. Dilly's an Irish name.
Oh, yeah. I think you mentioned it before. To be honest,
Yeah.
I think I vaguely remember you mentioned it before. Your parents are Irish, or you got one Irish parent. Your dad
I'm
was
half Irish.
You're half Irish. Half Irishman. Loves his Guinness. You love a good Guinness, John.
I don't drink anymore, Ralph.
Oh, teetotal. I didn't know that. That's something I didn't know. That's something I didn't know.
Yeah, well, when you get to a certain age, you have to make a choice.
Yeah, gotta make choices. Gotta make choices. So you're not going to drink at Christmas?
I haven't had a drink for nearly 3 years.
Bloody hell.
Straight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't drink often, but, when I do, I like to do it in moderation.
I've already done more than my fair share, Raf, don't worry.
You've done more than your fair share. You've had a go.
I grew up in the era before ID, so I started quite early.
Yeah, I started early, started going to them places early, but we weren't drinking. It was like a Coke or an orange juice, you know what I'm saying? Didn't really have any need for alcohol, didn't feel the need for alcohol, didn't like the taste of beer, still don't. The only beer I really like these days is a Coors Light, and that just tastes like flavored water, to be quite frank. But it's a nice, very, very light taste. Anyway, I don't know. Endorsements, have I broken some YouTube rule there? I don't know. But yeah, John, what is this? Hold on. I appreciate that you're devil's advocate, but I believe you're not taking into consideration the rarity of a red-headed Mexican. Ray. Oh, so he's a Mexican, probably a Mexican.
I can pull it up, Raf, but
probably taking slight offense. Don't be offended. Rays. Don't be offended.
There was some Irish immigration to Mexico.
Well, not only was there Irish immigration to Mexico, but there's large Mormon settlements in Mexico. Romney? Is there a guy called Romney who was involved in American politics? Yeah, I don't know if it's Romney. I think it's Romney. But he is if it's the right guy, he's of Mormon heritage, and he relocated his family, large portions of his family immigrated to Mexico, 100 years ago? 150? Yeah, many years ago. So there are pockets of Mexico which was settled in by Europeans from various locations.
Well, the Spanish are European, right?
White. That's what they call them. Wasps.
Oh, okay. White Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
Anglo-Saxon, yeah. So
yeah,
what's the P? What's the P stand for?
Protestant.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about the P.
Yeah, well, you have to remember, America is a Christian fundamentalist country set up by Puritans. That's what Thanksgiving's all about.
Yeah. And some of those people just didn't just settle in what we know as America, USA. They didn't just settle there, but they settled in Mexico and further in various different Paraguay, Argentina. You got a lot of people of Italian descent in Argentina. So there's a lot
Germans in Argentina.
Do you
know where else there's a lot of Germans, Raf? Or a significant number?
Let me guess. In South America, talking about South America?
Well, no.
Oh, what
but
region?
Not in North America.
But not in North. So it's not in North America. It's not in South America. And what people are we talking about? Where do they come from?
Germany.
Where is there large German?
Well, significant. I want to say significant.
Well, I know there's Germans. I know there's Germans in different places in the Caribbean.
Yeah, you're onto it now.
Yeah. I know there's Germans in Jamaica.
In Jamaica, yeah.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
I know that
I was just making sure.
Oh no, I know them. I know. I've seen them, mate. I've seen them.
No, there's pockets where that's the spoken language, isn't there?
Well, yeah, okay. Well, I'll give you another one. There's
Go on.
Dutch there. There's Dutch there as well.
Oh yeah. But I mean, a lot of the Dutch islands were bought after
Yeah.
Dutch by the British anyway. Barbados was originally Dutch.
I didn't know about
A
Barbados.
Dutchman invented rum, Raf.
A Dutchman invented rum. You're going to tell me a wasp invented
in Barbados.
chicken.
In Barbados, the guy that invented rum was Dutch, Raf.
You're going to tell me that Colonel Sanders was white next, aren't you?
Nope. Not involved in any of that.
They're saying that a white man invented Kentucky Fried Chicken and all the seasoning and the spices. I'm sorry, John, I ain't buying it.
Officially, according to the record book. Now, whether he lifted what somebody else was doing, I don't know. But it was officially a Dutchman that invented rum in Barbados.
Yeah, I find out. Well, it's possible. I might give you the rum. I doubt it, but I definitely ain't.
Well,
I
ain't
giving it Kentucky Fried Chicken. No way, no hell.
That's all right. I'm not bothered about that. It's not for me anyway. I'm definitely not Dutch. The Irish didn't invent it, so we'll let that. I'm not claiming it, Raf. I'm not claiming it.
No, I'm claiming it back. I'm taking it back.
Oh, hold on a minute. Rum's from Barbados anyway.
Rum's from Barbados. Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah. No, originally,
Yeah, I can believe that.
I'm gonna be upsetting Iron Kong now.
Iron Kong, come in. Listen to this heresy. Listen.
Yeah, Rafi. What's up, John Dealey? Blessed. Good morning from here. Well, good afternoon,
Good afternoon over here, Iron Kong. It's morning over there in the Caribbean. It's afternoon, and the sun is going down. Not that it ever really came up, but it was quite sunny in the morning. But how do you do, Iron Kong, over there in the Caribbean?
Yeah, good. It's still all over Family Week. Just want to remind everybody about that. But
we'll talk about that too. Don't worry, we got something to talk about too. But carry on. Yeah,
that's fine. John Dealey actually the first recorded rum distillery was by African enslaved people in Nevis.
Thank you.
In Nevis.
Thank you.
Nevis. Okay.
Yeah.
John has a Nevis connection. I'm not going to go into it, but carry on.
I've got friends with people from Nevis. I'm all right with
that. You can look it up. It's actually.
I'm happy with that. I prefer that anyway. That's good.
Yeah. When these things get invented in those regions, I always look to the populace, to the great.
It was the Africans who were enslaved that figured out the molasses and the cane juice could be turned into a rum.
Of course.
And it obviously was taken over by the planters. That's what happened.
The fermentation process comes from Africa, full stop. Anyway.
So but that's the case. But anyway, whatever, man. Callum Smith by stoppage. I'm going for all the marbles, Rafi. If I get this right, I want people to give me my props. It has to be Iron Kong week everywhere you go. I've given this prediction on 2 or 3 live stream now, and I've said I am going for the whole hog. Okay, Callum Smith by stoppage.
From the rooter to the tutor.
The whole thing. You hear me?
From the rooter to the tutor. We're gonna have to give Iron Kong at least a day. I can't promise a week, but I'll definitely give you a day. No doubt.
Iron Kong has just predicted Callum Smith by stoppage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Early, mid rounds, or late?
By 10.
10. Damn. Callum Smith by 10. Okay, so that's the exact opposite of me, because I'm saying Canelo. What did I predict? I wrote it somewhere. Hold on a sec. Let me find it. I know where it is. Let me find it. There it is. What did I write? Let's be consistent. What did I write specifically? Oh, didn't write anything. I must have wrote something because I remember writing it. Where is it? Hold on. Give me a second. Let me come up with my exact. Okay, I can't find it. But what I think I said was Callum Smith. Callum Smith by what was the round? What was the round? Did I say? Oh yeah, in between 7 and not Callum Smith. Canelo in between rounds 7 and 10. And I just got this imaginary whiff of spiced rum. Yeah. Last time I had spice rum was on my birthday. When was that? About 3 months ago. 4 months ago. Yeah, that was in lockdown. We had a special deal over here in the UK with the restaurants where you could go and eat for half price, just as a business stimulus package. And yeah, like I said, I don't drink very often, and when I do, I enjoy it all the more. You know, moderation. So that is my prediction. Canelo in between by a body shot. By the way, I'm naming the punch. Well, I'm naming the type of punch. A hook to the body, from Canelo to the long, elongated torso of Callum Smith. And there's a lot of it. There's a lot of torso. There's a lot of torso to go for. That's my prediction. So John D. Lee, to be clear, my prediction is body shot, hook to the body from Canelo to the torso of Callum Smith, in between the rounds of 7 and 10. John D. Lee.
See, I can see both those outcomes.
But Me too.
For Callum Smith to win by KO, I need to see him do something different that I've never seen him do, and it's relying on Joe Gallagher masterminding this. I think he's got the ability to do it, but I'm not convinced. So I am sticking safe, and I'm going Canelo on points. Safe
Canelo on points. Safe bet. Okay, before I go around the table again, let me just get into the chat. See what people are saying. Deja vu. Is it deja vu? Is it deja vu? How come? I don't get it. Explain. Low. Crystal clear. The Rafi is formidable. The rarity, sorry. Damn. You see how I inserted myself in that? Damn. The rarity is formidable, my dear fellow. What's this? John Daly must love half a pint of Guinness with him being half Irish. Half a pint.
What I used to mostly drink was the export Guinness, which is about 330 bottle, because it's a bit strong if you have that big bottle.
The big bottle.
You not seen the big bottle?
No, not really.
It's like a 600 ml bottle, Raf.
Yeah.
Nigerian Guinness. It's 7.5%, and you can't have too many big ones. Damn,
Nigerian Guinness. Do they do it in the UK? Do they make that in the UK or no?
There's a massive. Oh yeah, you can get it in Tesco's at Spring Hill.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'm not really a Guinness man myself, although I do mix it with.
You've probably just been ignoring it, Gas.
Yeah. Probably haven't really noticed it.
There's a massive brewery, Guinness brewery in Nigeria.
Oh, damn. We are the world, says Ray Reyes. What's this here? The old dark and tans harps with, yep. I don't drink, but when I do, it warrants an intervention. Okay. Isn't the Queen of German descent? It's
100% German, yeah. That's changed the name in the war from Saxe-Coburg.
Saxe-Coburg. Isn't that the husband's side? It's the husband's side.
Yeah, but the reason that she married him was because she's a Hanoverian princess anyway. So after we got rid of the Jacobeans and all the revolution and stuff, they were Catholic. They invited William and Mary, who were Dutch. They didn't have any kids. So after that, to ensure that we didn't become a Catholic country, they invited the princes of Hanover to the throne of England.
Damn. So there you have it, the German lineage of the British royal family. Okay, let's go through this. No offense whatsoever. Good man. So he's related to Canelo Alvarez. Being Puerto Rico.
Okay. If we're going to talk about Irish heritage, yeah.
Go on.
Who's got an Irish grandparent, Dillian Whyte or
Anthony Joshua?
It's a trick question because they both have Rafi.
Dillian Whyte. Oh yeah, Dillian Whyte did mention that at some point.
He's
Yeah,
got an Irish grandfather on his paternal side.
Oh damn.
Which side is Joshua's on?
It's his paternal. It's his paternal grandmother.
Grand paternal. That's the father's side. Paternal.
Yeah.
Paternal. Yeah, the father's side.
She was a nurse in Nigeria.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. What are we looking at here? Luis Ortiz invented the wheel. Okay, people are in a very happy, jovial mood because Rafi is live on a Saturday. Didn't go live last night. Wanted to go live last night. Set up the show to go live last night. But you know what? After I got in from work and I had some dinner, I was just sitting at the computer saying, damn, I'm knackered. Absolutely shattered. And you know what I did instead? I just laid down and fell asleep. That was the right thing to do because now we're here doing it on a Saturday, a rare Saturday shows. Remember back in the day when we used to do a Saturday on a regular? Okay, so BG London up in the building. He wasn't even okay, so we're looking for what's your picks? What are your Canelo picks? Where we at? Mr. Saunders was Chinese, I believe. Mr. Saunders was an African man. Was an African man. The real inventor was an African man with those spices and herbs, cooking it up the way they cook it up. You know how that goes. You know how that goes.
I know exactly how it went.
You know exactly how that shit goes down. Yeah, we're not going to talk about Thomas Jefferson. We know how that shizzle goes down. We're getting into history today, Iron Kong. We're going into history. You see,
I've remembered where I got that. It was a Dutchman, you know. If you read the Battle of Mount Gay, that's where it gave me away information. I'm sure it's on the back of the label.
Damn, always miss these people. Always miss in leading people when it comes to inventions and inventors. But anyway.
But Wikipedia's confirmed Iron Kong.
The reason why it couldn't have been the planter class is because what rum is fermented from was molasses. Molasses is a byproduct of sugarcane. And the planters were not really interested in molasses; they were interested in the sugar. The enslaved people were the ones who were dabbling around with the molasses, all the byproducts and stuff. So
Wikipedia's backing you, Iron Kong.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm just remembering where I got my misinformation from.
Oh, okay.
But the Battle of Mount Gay.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are you saying, Iron Kong?
No, I was just saying about the molasses. Remember, molasses is a byproduct, and that's what they used to ferment the original type of, rumish kind of liquor.
Yeah.
So the planters would not be interested in molasses; they would be interested in the sugar, right? Mm-hmm. So it's even up until recently when we still had the sugar industry here, people were still fermenting like backyard. Well, people call it moonshine or whatever. We call it hammers.
You call it hammer. In the Grenadines, they call it jack iron.
Jack iron.
Yeah.
So they used to still use molasses to ferment the bush rum here, same way, because molasses is the byproduct, the stuff that you throw away. You don't want molasses.
You don't want to throw it away. Molasses is actually really good for you.
Right. It is. But what I'm saying is the planters were not interested in molasses.
I understand.
Yeah. So that's just what it is. Whatever. But I think maybe there were other people that had types of rum, but rum is really a cast off type of liquor. It's not a.
I hear that. Okay, so you're getting all kinds of information over here. Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio as per usual. Okay, so let's get into the chat. Andre. It's going to be a typical Joe Gallagher World Challenger type fight. Smith is going to shell up and get a.
Those are my concerns.
That's the worst thing he could do if he shells up. If he shells up, that's the worst thing he could do.
I hope he doesn't, man.
If he shells up, that's mad.
If he had a different man in the corner, I could trust Callum Smith to win this fight. But Joe has consistently failed to teach Callum how to use his fight. He just gives his height. He gives it up in every fight.
He crouches down.
Yeah, and shells up. And the man's he's as long as Usyk. He's got a 78-inch reach. That's the same reach as Dillian Whyte.
That's
and
crazy.
What's Canelo's? Canelo's got like 65 or something.
If Callum Smith can somehow do the right thing, which is use his length in any kind of combat sport, they tell you to use your length. If you're tall, the first thing they tell you is to use your length. If Callum Smith can somehow use his length in this, well, I think he must know. Surely he knows. But if he can, it's one thing knowing something and another thing doing something. Knowing it and doing it when you're not used to doing it.
He's got a 7.5-inch reach advantage, Rafi, and I'm worried he's going to give it up.
Hold on a second. But if we take a 7.5-inch reach advantage and we angle that's straight ahead. But if we angle that down lower, surely that reach advantage is reduced.
But halve it. It's still an advantage.
It's still an advantage.
It's still enough. He's got enough to halve there.
7.5, so 3.25. So at least a 3.25 reach advantage when you angle down, like he's gonna have to angle down.
Two's enough.
Yeah, absolutely. So he definitely anywhere you cut it, he's going in there with the reach advantage. The question is he gonna do the right thing? And the right thing, I say the right thing is to be on the front foot, not the back foot, but the front foot and flick that jab, Shades of Ali.
I say step into it on the front foot and aim it at the chest. And then because Canelo's head movement's excellent. But it's a lot harder to use your upper body to slip jabs if they're aimed at your chest.
Yeah, absolutely. Aim at the chest and you'll hit something, even if it's just the shoulder, whatever.
You'll stop him coming in.
Yeah.
How's he going to get to you if you keep pumping a stiff jab to his chest and keep stepping into it?
Well, he's going to bob and weave.
You can push him. Yeah, but it's in his chest.
He's going to bob and weave, and he's going to Canelo. The antidote to that would be to bob and weave and come under the punch and go to the body. That would be the antidote. But then the counter antidote to that would be for Callum Smith to take a step back and look for uppercuts. Uppercut, two shots. As Canelo bobs and weaves under the jab, he will be coming in. If he uses that tactic, I suggest that he'll be coming in with hooks to the body, and the counter on Smith's part is then, for me, I would recommend the uppercut and hook combination. Uppercut and hook each time, 2 punches to counter the counter.
Smith has got a decent uppercut.
Should use it.
Yeah.
Should use it. OMG, AJ is the king. Wildettes still hiding. Where are the Wildettes? Please show yourselves. We see the bushes rustling, but we don't see you. But we know the bushes are rustling.
Have we heard from Don ZB?
Don ZB commented on the last video, which is on the topic of our next topic that we'll be covering, the Dillian Whyte versus Ortiz, Luis Ortiz, but we're not quite there yet. So Don ZB has come out from the bushes. I'm wondering where the fight doctor is. Where, as a matter of fact, where's Phil Walker? Because Ortiz is Phil Walker's guy. Okay, so
yeah, 100% his guy.
Maybe those guys will show up shortly. Okay, I've left the link in the Secret Society, so everybody knows. Everybody knows. Let's go through these comments. Deja vu is the Whyte Ortiz situation. I heard all of this 2 years ago. Okay, I get you. Smith, protect that body. He needs to protect that body. He needs to keep those. But the best way for him to protect the body is to be on the front foot. The best way for him to protect the body is to be on the front foot, and use that jab. Use that jab like a ramrod. And when Canelo comes in, and he will come in, half a step back, uppercut hook to the head. Uppercut hook, change the angle. Uppercut hook, change the angle. Step to the side, not even step to the side, just pivot to the side, like the bull and the matador. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying Callum Smith has to do. He's got to go forward and know when to pivot, when Canelo steps in. Right uppercut, hook. I say right uppercut, hook, or it could be left uppercut. I say right uppercut, hook, change the angle. On the left hook, change the angle, tuck your chin, keep your chin tucked against the shoulder as you turn. You don't want to get your head rocked by Canelo. I can't come in anytime you're ready, my friend. Hey, Andre and Cliff Bailey. Yes. It's not every day we see Cliff Bailey. Cliff Bailey, one of the originals up around here. Where are we? Raphael Dawkins, I want to see you debate El Jefe again. Oh, listen. You know it's open door policy over here, so long as you know how to conduct yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's open door policy over here.
Hey, Rafi.
Yo.
From what I'm hearing from you and John,
yeah,
it almost seems like you all rate Joe Gallagher too highly in terms of his training skills, like working with the talent he has, like naturally, like working with, like Callum is gifted with a lot of height and reach, but it doesn't seem like Joe Gallagher has any idea how to get that out of him, right? How to properly utilize that, right?
Yeah, how to capitalize on the natural resources.
I remember going into the Ruiz 2 fight, I picked against Joshua because I said the same thing like John said. Anthony Joshua had a way where he would crouch down to fight much shorter, like he did that against Takam.
Yes.
Where he would crouch down and try to fight on the inside with Takam. He also did the same with Alexander Povetkin, where he would almost like go down to the height of his opponent.
He did do two things against Povetkin, though, that did take advantage of his height. If you go back and watch it, he didn't use a very tight left hook. He used quite a looping left hook to catch Povetkin out on the way in, and that stopped Povetkin coming in quite a lot and was pretty effective. The other thing that he did was jab from his hip, which also kept Povetkin's attention spread, so he didn't know where the punches were coming from, and that did use his height. I've also seen AJ using his height against Charles Martin when he did keep it long. So he's always had the ability to do it. I think tactically he's got it wrong. Like in the Takam fight you're talking about, I agree with what you're saying. But I had seen Joshua use long straight punches in previous fights, whereas Smith, I've never seen him do it. And I can't remember a Gallagher fighter doing it, to be honest.
Wow. Well, that's unfortunate, because if he tries to play that game against Canelo, then that would be extremely counterproductive, and it would end up really badly for Callum Smith, because everybody knows what Canelo is going. He's going for his body, and if Callum Smith crouches down, gives up his height, then that's light work, because he don't have no head movement like that. Because I remember he was fighting against Nicky Holskin, who's not even really a boxer per se. He's a kickboxer. I remember him from kickboxing.
Yeah.
And Nicky was catching him, right? And it was like, man, but I'm still going for Callum with a check left hook. And we're going to stop Canelo, okay?
I'll be pleased if you're right.
Yeah, we'll be pleased if you're right, definitely.
I'm happy to be wrong on this one, definitely.
Yeah, definitely will be pleased if you're right. But I got to get into this comment. BG London says Dillian Whyte, fake Irishman. Has Dillian Whyte ever called himself an Irishman? Have you got any sources for that? Has anybody seen Dillian Whyte call himself an Irishman? He's a proud Jamaican. Why would he be a fake Irishman? He's a proud Jamaican. He ain't Irish. Reminds me of back in the day when certain black people came to be mixed. Oh my God, BG London. I don't know. I
think BG London needs to stay his heritage before he keeps going.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm gonna ask him a few questions now. Well, we'll go one question each. I'll go with the first question. You two guys, you don't have to participate, but you can do it if you so wish. And my question is, BG London, what is your ethnicity? I got two questions. What is your ethnicity and where do you reside? What area do you currently reside? Those are my two questions for BG London. We have to get to the bottom of this peculiarity. That's my question. John, do you have a question for BG London? You can say no. You can say no.
No, I'm going to put a link in the chat for him instead. Just where the source is for this heritage. I've never heard it off Dillian.
I've never heard it.
I got my information from somewhere else.
Okay.
And where I got my information from, I'm going to put a link in the chat, and it's just Wikipedia.
Iron Kong, do you have a question for BG London? Seems very disparaging.
BG London, where do you stand on the Windrush situation?
Love it. Love it. He's gone militant on his ass. BG London, I know the name, but I don't know where I know it from. I know I've seen you around, but I don't know where from. If I know your affiliations, then perhaps I can get who you're affiliated with. Then perhaps I can get a read on. I've already got a bit of a read, but I can get a better read if I know who you are affiliated with. Yeah.
Can I just relay my information where I got it from?
Yes.
So Dillian was born in Port Antonio, Portland, Jamaica.
Portland, been there, yeah.
Yeah.
Near Spanish.
He moved to the United Kingdom when he was 12 years old. His paternal grandfather was an Irishman named Patrick Whyte, who emigrated to Jamaica from Dublin.
Okay.
And I'll put the link in the chat.
Yeah. So,
but I have not heard it out of Dillian's mouth.
No, nor have I. So I don't think he's claimed to be anything other than Jamaican, a proud Jamaican. So I don't.
And the last time I checked, if you're born in Jamaica, irrespective of your heritage, you're Jamaican.
Indeed. And I'm sure that his paternal grandfather probably spoke with a Jamaican accent by that time. Well, I'm not sure, but I speculate. Okay, so strange comments from BG London. So what is your ethnicity? Where do you currently reside? John Dealey asked a question, and Iron Kong asked a question. Where do you stand on the Windrush situation? So there's a few questions there for you, BG London. I can't get a read. I know you're being disparaging. I don't know who you're affiliated with. If I know who you're affiliated with, then I can pretty much nail you down where you're coming from. I already see where you're coming from, but I can get an even better read. Although I've got the read. Okay, so Philip Khan Roberts, we are moving on. You know the topics. If you just got in here, get your picking. Who you got? Who you got and how. Callum Smith versus Canelo, or the other way around, whoever. How you got that fight? Who are your picks? Okay, BG London again. Canelo 11th round stoppage. Cal L up in the building. James Jameson up in the building. Bomb Squad don't die, we multiply. BG London is a wildette. I saw some rustling in the bushes. Come on, Wildettes. Arise. State your names. Okay, so pretty sure any arbitration period should be over by now. Team Wilder still UIE. What does UIE mean? James Jameson comes in. Dino Ortiz getting done inside 4. You still quiet. Wilder still quiet. Yeah. What happened with the arbitration? We'll get to that in a second. Well, I guess that would be the third thing. Bomb Squad. Okay. Where are we? Dillian is Jamaican, now representing the UK. Not complicated. Well, I thought it was that simple. I thought it was that simple. Dillian Whyte has said he's got Irish family. Yeah, he's got Irish family. Yeah. He's got Irish grandparent on the paternal side. Sure, cool. And the gang, and that is Leighton Evelyn. Let me drop the link in the chat again. Boom, boom, boom. Jack Namo. Dillian Whyte has mentioned he has Irish ancestry in past interviews. Cool and the gang. BG London, St. Lucian, Jamaican. Lives in South London. Okay. BG London is here quite often. Yeah, but I used to see him elsewhere before. I think I don't know where I know the name from. BG London. I don't know where I know the name from, but I think he's affiliated. Who are you affiliated with? What's your lineage? What's your YouTube lineage? Canelo round 8 via body shot. Okay, Wilder is a twerking, ducking bum. OMG. Okay, so I think we've wrapped up with the Canelo situation. Iron Kong's going for Canelo, for Smith by late round stoppage, I believe. I am going for Canelo via body shot stoppage in between the 7th and the 10th round. And I think John Dealey's going for points. John Dealey's going for a points victory for Canelo. Okay. And I think we've chopped that up nice and neatly. Do you guys want to have your last comment on that subject before we move over to the next topic, which is Ortiz versus Dillian Whyte? Do you guys want to have your last comment on the previous topic?
I'm good.
Okay. John
Yeah,
Dealey.
me too. I've said everything. Tesco Joe. That's what I need to say.
Tesco Joe. Tesco. Why do they call him Tesco Joe Gallagher?
I was wondering, like, what the hell is Tesco?
Because he's basic.
Tesco's a shop. Tesco's a shop. Basic shop. It's a big. It's like Walmart. Well, not as successful as Walmart, but you know what I'm saying, Hein Kong.
I got you. Yeah. It's like a big general store. Like a big, you can get everything there. Right?
Everything there to economic price, shall we say? Economic price.
A lot of generic brands, stuff like that. Yeah.
And own brands. Yeah. Definitely. Don't buy the baked beans.
Didn't it used
Don't
to be
buy the
Tesco's
baked beans.
Basics?
Don't buy the baked beans.
Or wasn't it value or value? Wasn't it Tesco value?
The value rank. The value.
So
rank.
that's what Joe is when it comes down to the trainers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, one of them. But isn't he got Savannah Marshall? Who's got Savannah Marshall?
He's got Savannah. No, Peter's got Savannah Marshall.
Oh yeah.
He has Jonas. He has Natasha Jonas.
Yeah. And Natasha Jonas fights that way, but she's built for it.
Yeah. What
So
do you mean?
that's okay.
What do you mean fights that way? What do you mean?
She's an inside fighter.
Yeah.
All Joe can teach, but she's built for it and she's good at it. That's fine.
Yeah, she's damn good.
No. Peter Fury's got Savannah.
Yeah, that's it. Peter Fury's got Savannah Marshall. He's doing a very good
I
job.
think Peter's a much better trainer than Tesco Joe.
Yes. Having said that, he's got an issue with Fury. He can't seem to pull the trigger. Can't seem to sit down on a shot.
Shades of Ali.
Can't seem to sit down on a shot.
Yeah, but
I've seen people on pub car parks who can sit down on a shot better than Huey Fury. No disrespect, Huey, if you're listening.
But if you actually watch that fight,
which fight?
The last one against Vac.
Yeah.
Every time he tried to sit down on the shot, the backhand was in slow motion. So
talked about it over here. Yeah.
Yeah. So the issue is that with Savannah Marshall, she was already a good puncher.
Yeah.
Before she joined Peter.
Yeah.
So I think if you've already got power, Peter's a good trainer for you. If he's got to teach you how to sit down on your punches, I just don't think Peter believes in that.
It's crazy.
They're huge Ali fans over there. They don't want to sit down on the shots.
Need to mix it up a little bit. It's all right being a huge Ali fan, which of course I am, but you got to learn to sit down and shut, damn it. Like I said.
How many people have got Ali's athleticism? It's like watching Roy Jones Jr. You can't copy those guys unless you're as good an athlete as they are.
Well, you can do your best. You can do the best you can. I mean,
but it's probably not best suited to you because you don't have their speed and reflexes.
Those attributes, but surely you can take certain attributes and try to certain pieces of the Ali game and use it. But you gotta learn to sit down and shut as well. Surely.
Well, you know, I like people that sit down on the shots.
Well, so do I. I mean, who doesn't? You know,
Peter Fury.
OMG. What's going on here? I gotta go to work. Good chat, guys. Peace out. That's the Philip Carl Roberts. Have a good day. Are you starting work at this time? I feel for you, bro. I feel for you. I hate those late shifts.
You gotta respect the working man, bro.
Gotta respect the working man. 100%. I've done those late shifts before. Trust me. You gotta do what you gotta do. Fortunately, now it's the daytime thing, so it's all good in the hood. So BG London says beats. Okay. EJ. Okay. BW. Oh yeah. I know that guy. And Del Boy. Okay, yeah, I know those cats. Well, I know the three, the last one, I'm kind of vaguely familiar with. Vaguely. Okay. So where are we in the chat as we prepare to move on to the next topic? We're here for a good time, not for a long time. Have I put the link in the chat? Yeah, the link is in the chat. Okay, so what's crack-a-lacking here? Canelo will get inside and hurt the body. I could see the late stoppage to Canelo. Yeah. Vegas vlog. What does Vegas vlog mean? What does that mean? Vegas vlog. What is that? You advertising something? Well, you better put some money in the super chat then. You know what I'm saying? You can't just come here and advertise something else and not put no money in you gotta invest. Become an investor. Where are we? I say Joe Gallagher is a better trainer than Ben Davidson. That's an interesting hypothesis, James Jameson. I wonder why you would say that. Could you kindly expand on that? Okay, so BG London says Windrush scandal was racist and disgraceful. Okay, so I get you. I get where you're coming from now. I think I got a handle on you now. Okay, cool and the gang. Okay, and as we move, okay, for anybody who's just joined and they're wondering what Holly Holm is doing in the right-hand square, in the right-hand corner, she is with, what's her name? What's the karate hottie? UFC Rachel Waterson, Katie Waterson. Anyway, you can't see the karate hottie. She's in the green hoodie. At the moment, as a matter of fact, let me just pull it up so people know just what the hell. Hold on, can I do? How do I do that? Let me see if I can do this. If I can do what I'm trying to do, if I do what I want to do, so I can explain what you're seeing. Let me see if I succeed. Oh, okay, I've done it. Okay, so it was easier than I thought. Okay, so you have Holly Holm in the bottom right-hand square, and in the green hoodie is the karate hottie, also of the UFC, and behind them, it's not the best shot. I was trying to do was show you. I just took a screenshot, and it wasn't the best, but behind them, in between them, is, what the hell is her name? It's Clarissa Shields. So there has been talk. This is not a new topic, but we'll touch on it since we're here. We'll touch on it just for a second, real smooth like, and real quick like. So there has been talk about Shields, Clarissa Shields, going into MMA. Well, you see the significance of this picture. Just to explain the thumbnail, the significance of this picture is that it is clearly taken in the workout place of these ladies, the karate hottie and What's her name? I just said it. I forgot it. This is down in Albuquerque. It's down in Albuquerque, same place where John Jones trains. So clearly Clarissa Shields is taking this seriously. She's training in one of the most accomplished MMA gyms in America, anywhere for that matter. So yeah, I can confirm, or certainly this picture appears to confirm, that Clarissa Shields is taking the MMA shizniks seriously. I'm not sure why. I don't think there's more money in MMA than there is in boxing. They are notoriously low paid in relation to boxing. So I don't quite understand why Clarissa Shields, only she gets to the top. Maybe she thinks she can become a Ronda Rousey. If you get to that level, if you get to Ronda Rousey level before she fell off, then yes, there is significant. She might be touching M's. She might be touching M's if she gets to that level. But Holly Holm right there, does she beat Holly Holm? No. So what the hell's going on? I think maybe she's doing it for a wheeze. That's fine, but I don't understand why she would be doing it for a wheeze when she's got a professional career as a boxer going on. I don't understand. Some of these boxing gals really underestimate the ground game. They underestimate how soon you can be taken down. I found that for myself when I first stepped into a mixed martial arts gym some 15, 16 years ago. When was it? 2004. That's when I started my grappling journey. Got tucked down by my valet judo coach. First time we sparred, very, very quickly, I threw a punch. Next thing I knew, I was looking up at the flaky ceiling. And that's why I went there, because I knew that fighting was not just about punching.
Flaky ceiling.
I knew it wasn't just about punching. I knew that.
You know what's weird though, Rafi?
Yeah.
I find the history of combat sports kind of strange, because England has a rich history of wrestling.
Yes.
Right? But for some reason, not for some reason, for good reason, England has more lean to boxing.
Yeah.
And the grappling history of England has kind of gone under. Like you had like the snake pit at Wigan, like a lot of catch wrestling. And people don't really practice like catch wrestling. Like they had to like re-import grappling back into England.
Wigan. They're still like Wigan. Do you remember the Dynamite Kid and
yeah, of course.
Dave, yeah, they were from
Dave Boy Smith. Dave Boy Smith.
Yeah, David Boy Smith.
They almost had to re-import grappling back into England with jiu-jitsu. When I'm like, but you have your own homegrown catch wrestling styles.
Yeah,
those two guys were catch wrestlers from Wigan.
Yeah,
okay.
Originally, they were. It just hasn't spread.
Lost civilizations. There's certain things don't always progress. Sometimes they regress, and wrestling in the UK has regressed. Whereas boxing never regressed, but wrestling did. Became less. Still done, but not as popular as you would expect it to be. Yeah, you're right. I had to re-import. I had to be re-imported in the form of jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's very, very, it's lost civilizations. Things don't always progress. Okay, so that's the story there of Clarissa Shields. That was just a quick one. Just thought I'd touch on that one. It's got nothing to do with Holly Holm's shape. Nothing to do with that at all.
Are you suggesting that Holly Holmes can run for a bus, Rafi?
OMG. There's something about, listen, confession. This is my confession. Confession time. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, let me go into Instagram and pull up the Instagram and pull up the thing that the video. Hold on, Instagram. John, is it John Jones? Is it John Jones or Holly Holm? Let's go Holly Holm. Holly Holm. HOLM. Okay, that might be it. Instagram Holly Holm. Let me pull up the video that they posted, which I have to confess, it did inspire me It didn't. Is that the video? Is that the video right there? Okay. Let's see if it's the video or just a picture. Looks like just, oh no, that's it. OMG. OMG. No, we don't want the one with John Bones gyrating. We don't want to see that. We've had enough of that from Wilder. We don't need no more of that. Okay. So what am I sharing? Oh, I'm sharing the wrong thing. Okay. Well, let's correct that. Let's pull up this. Let's stop sharing that. Who this? Who could it be? It's the Fight Doctor. OMG. Things are going to get very interesting up in here. Fight Doctor, come in. Introduce yourself, please.
Fight Doctor is in the house on Rick James status as always.
OMG, it's about to go down. But just hold everybody cool for a second. Let me bring this up and then we'll get into it. But this is the thing. Am I sharing? I am sharing. This is the post which inspired me to bring up that little corner there. Put it in the corner. I thought that these ladies deserve their corner. And as you can see, this is better because you can see Clarissa. Can I make this better? Is there a way I can make this better? Lose the borders? Anyway, let's go with this for now. Okay, so Clarissa Shields training MMA. It's not just a rumor. She's down there in Albuquerque training with John Winklejohn. And I forgot the main guy. Winklejohn and who? Escapes my memory. If there's any MMA people in there, just tell me. Okay, so without much further ado, let's introduce it to you. Let's go without the music. Oh, we got music anyway. Okay, this was the inspiration. This was the inspiration. OMG. Mercy, mercy me. Okay, as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, if we can have these ladies in a corner, can we put them in a corner in the nicest way possible? Can we? Oh, they're gone. Can't we do both? Can't we multitask? No, that's not good enough. Let's try, see if we can have everything. Let's see if we can have the best of both worlds. No. Hold on. Let me try. Let's try and get this right.
Are you going to put the link to that in the chat, Rafi?
It's Holly Holmes, Instagram, Holly, HOLLY, home. Can I put the link of that? I can put the link of the chat. I can copy that. Yeah, that's good enough. I can copy that. Hold on. Let me do it now before I forget. Let me put the link to that in the chat. Holly Home, OM, and Clarissa Shields.
I can see some benefits of Clarissa moving to MMA.
Yeah, talk about it.
They're not fighting related, Rafi.
Bit slow off the mark there. Okay. Holly Holm and Clarissa Shields working that body. Okay, the Fight Doctor, come in and bring the crazy, my friend. Bring the crazy, wherever you want to go.
So you realize, of course, that White is just making jokes. This is like his early April Fool joke, right? He's not really serious.
Well, carry on. Expound.
So you just got one punch knocked out, right? And behind getting one punch knocked out, you're going to call out a guy who is arguably the second biggest puncher in the division. I don't think so.
How the hell have you arrived at the hypothesis? I'm presuming it's a hypothesis. How the hell have you arrived at the hypothesis that that Luis Ortiz is the second biggest puncher in the heavyweight division?
I think there's an argument to be made there. I mean, Joshua
make the argument.
Joshua isn't really a puncher. Okay, I mean he's got good power, but he's not really a big puncher. He's not a Lennox Lewis type puncher.
Did you wash those mushrooms before you put them in the risotto, Fight Doctor?
I think Dillian Whyte dipped into my mushrooms, to be completely honest with you, okay? Which is what caused him to call out Luis Ortiz. Look, not only
can I ask the Fight Doctor a question? Like a legitimate question?
Anybody can ask you a question. I'm going to be silent for a minute.
Okay. Fight Doctor.
Yes, sir.
How did Juhalpas finish his fight against Wilder?
How can I'm trying to remember that fight.
Because if you can't remember, I can tell you exactly how. And you can go back and check.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
He never touched the canvas, and he finished it on his feet. Yeah? Povetkin put that man to sleep in the same way that Wilder slept Spilker, who I believe is the only person Spilker has slept. So if you want to make an argument about who the second biggest puncher is in the division, I think that Sasha has a good case, a much better case than one significant knockout over an arguably top 10 fighter in Jennings. Besides Jennings, did you watch the Dave Allen fight Doctor? Ortiz versus Dave Allen?
I don't recall. I'm sure I saw that fight, but I don't recall.
Because Dave Allen finished that fight on his feet as well.
Yeah, well, listen, if somebody wants to make the case that Povetkin is a harder puncher or bigger puncher than Luis Ortiz, okay, no problems. But
Povetkin has more knockouts against top 10 heavyweights than Luis Ortiz does.
Well, that's only because
have more knockouts against top 10 heavyweights than Ortiz has knockouts. Who has Ortiz fought besides Brian Jennings?
Well, I mean, Ortiz has knocked over a bunch of tomato cans.
Exactly. So it's kind of like saying that Golovkin's the heaviest puncher in middleweight.
Well, so the overall case that I'm trying to make is not who is the second hardest puncher in the division. The case that I'm trying to make is that you guys are basically taking Dillian Whyte seriously when I'm saying Dillian Whyte is calling out a guy who is as big a puncher as the guy who just knocked him out. Not only that.
Yeah, and when have you seen Dillian Whyte back away from a fight? I mean, it might be a foolish thing for him to do.
Well, listen, had Dillian Whyte actually beaten Povetkin, then maybe there would be some sense in him calling out a guy like Luis Ortiz. But what I'm saying is you just got one punch knocked out by a guy in Povetkin, who is a big puncher, no question. But you just got one punch knocked out by that guy. In a fight, you were losing. In the fight, you were winning handedly, right?
Who's the best? Who's the best heavyweight ever, in your opinion?
Muhammad Ali.
Who's the second best?
Larry Holmes.
Where does Joe Louis come on your list?
I will put him number 3.
Okay. Have you seen him get one punch knocked out?
Who?
Yes. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Does that? But yet you've got him at number 3.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait,
so
I'm not understanding.
Let me be clear.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait.
No, let me be clearer. You're saying if a guy gets one punch knocked out, he's no good. But yet a guy you've got in your top 3 heavyweights, which I agree with, was one punch knocked out. Am I right, John?
Yeah, that's all correct. I'd also like to know how many punches.
No, but let's just stick on that point for a second. Let's just stick on that point.
Same point, Rafi. Same point.
Okay.
How many punches did it take Mike Tyson to knock out Larry Holmes?
Larry Holmes was essentially one punch knocked out by Mike Tyson.
Okay. Take it from there, Fight Doctor. You're just disparaging a man.
So wait a minute.
Where does Lennox Lewis fit in your list?
Lennox Lewis he's definitely top 10. He's got one punch knocked out multiple times. Okay,
he's one punch knocked out a couple of times. So how can you diminish your man? For being one punch? Let me finish my sentence. Finish my sentence. How can you diminish your man for being one punch knocked out when a lot of the guys in your best ever top 10 have been one punch knocked out. The fight.
Okay.
Over to you.
All right. So first and foremost, right? Larry Holmes is Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis is Lennox Lewis, and Joe Louis is Joe Louis. And guess what? Dillian Whyte is not Larry Holmes. Nowhere near. Dillian Whyte is not Joe Louis. Nowhere near. Dillian Whyte is not Lennox Lewis. Nowhere near. Okay, Lennox Lewis, Joe Louis, and Larry Holmes are on a different tier than Dillian Whyte. And Dillian Whyte will be lucky if he could sniff the ozone where Joe Louis, Lennox Lewis, and Larry Holmes exist. Okay? So there are no comparisons to be made.
Where's the first thing? Where's the one point?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait. Hold on. Let me finish, right? Lennox Lewis, Joe Louis, and Larry Holmes proved themselves to be all-time great fighters. That's beyond question. What has Dillian Whyte ever proved other than the fact that he can get one punch knocked out by a 41-year-old heavyweight?
He got one punch. Well, I'll tell you what he's proved. What he's proved is he's got one of the best resumes in the heavyweight division as we speak.
Well, again, I go back to my example of being the first place winner in the Special Olympics.
Well, if he's the first place winner in the Special Olympics, then everybody else is in the first, and everybody else is in the Special Olympics too.
Yeah, being the best of a bad lot is not saying much, right?
So to your point, Fight Doctor, is Ortiz a current heavyweight in the current crop of heavyweights at the moment?
Is he a current? Well, yeah, he's a current heavyweight in the current.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about the Special Olympics, you have to include Luis Ortiz within that.
No
so
problem.
Your point is irrelevant.
No, my point is very well. I wasn't even allowed to make my point, which is this. And if I may be allowed to make my point, it's not good. Look, it doesn't make sense for Dillian Whyte to call out a guy who looks very much like the guy who just knocked him out in Luis Ortiz.
Luis Ortiz cannot compare Luis Ortiz with Sasha Povetkin. Sasha Povetkin is a much more highly decorated boxer than Sasha is a much more higher decorated boxer than Luis Ortiz.
Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Luis Ortiz, can he box? Can he box?
Yes, affirmative.
Can he punch?
Affirmative to an extent, but we don't know to what extent.
That's fairly unproven, to be fair. Unproven.
We don't know the extent. We don't know the extent to which he can punch. So it is ludicrous. It is ludicrous for you to suggest that Luis Ortiz, on his limited resume, let me add, by the way, Dillian Whyte's resume reigns. And I'm saying reign instead of the thing I'm really thinking about. Reigns all over Luis, the old man of the heavyweight division, Ortiz's resume. Reigns all over it. And when I say reign, you know what I'm really meaning.
That's besides the point.
Oh, it's besides the point. It's besides the point. I think it's central.
Hold on a minute. Let me ask Fight Doctor a quick question. Fight Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Did you watch the Derek Chisora Artur Szpilka fight?
I did not. I did not see that fight.
Okay. Do you know how it ended?
I do not.
Derek Chisora put Artur Szpilka completely to sleep.
Yes, sir.
Bang, bang.
What happened?
Bang.
What happened when Dillian Whyte rematched Derek Chisora and fought him for the second time?
You tell me. I'm listening.
Dillian Whyte was losing the fight, and he completely slept Derek Chisora. This is called the heavyweight division, where you were always one punch away from being knocked out. Dillian Whyte has knockout power. So does Luis Ortiz. Dillian Whyte has been completely knocked out by Anthony Joshua and completely knocked out by Sasha, both times by an uppercut. He's been dropped multiple times. That doesn't mean he can't win a fight, because he's also put people to sleep. So it's a shootout. Whoever lands first wins. That's what's good about heavyweight boxing.
Listen, I'm agreeing with all of the points you just made. However, it's got nothing to do with the price of tea in China or the point that I'm making, which is this. Dillian Whyte just got slept, one punch knocked out by a 41-year-old heavyweight.
What?
Right?
So what? And that doesn't define a career. It don't define Jack Chislicks.
It defines your last fight. It defines your last fight. That's what it defines.
That's all it defines. Your last fight. That's all it defines. And why are you putting so much emphasis on something that happens to almost all of the greatest heavyweights ever? All of the greatest heavyweights have been one punch KO'd at some point in their careers.
Oh, so are you trying to make the argument that Dillian Whyte is a great heavyweight?
Absolutely. Well, yes, he's one of the best of the bunch now, but that's not the point.
No, that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question. The question is, are you trying to argue that Dillian Whyte is a great heavyweight? Yes or no?
I am arguing that getting one punch knocked out is not a blemish on a heavyweight's career. Boom, boom, boom.
And can I come back to Fight Doctor on that as well?
Of course.
Is Luis Ortiz an all-time great heavyweight?
No, by no stretch of the imagination.
So this is a question of scale. By your measure, Fight Doctor, these are two heavyweights from the Special Olympics fighting each other, who have both been knocked out cold recently. So they're getting it on. I just don't see what the issue is. If he was prepared to have an immediate rematch with Povetkin, then he's obviously not afraid to get knocked out again.
Well, I mean, he's having an immediate rematch with Povetkin because that's what he has to do.
But he doesn't have to do it at all.
Of course he does. Look, so right now, Povetkin...
I'll explain to you why he doesn't have to do it. A, he won't be doing it because Povetkin's not available. So he's going to have another fight, whether it's Ortiz or not. That's for definite. Secondly, there's a very high chance that the heavyweight title holders are going to be tied up in fights all of this year. So that mandatory position isn't going anywhere. Nothing's happening with it. The WBC mandatory isn't going to be called anytime soon.
Well, in order for Dillian Whyte to regain his mandatory spot, he has to rematch Povetkin. That's just the fact of the matter. All right.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But he doesn't have to do
Dillian
it.
Whyte, Dillian Whyte has to rematch. Okay, but the fact of the matter is this:
12 months to do that. That's my
point. But the fact of the matter is this: Dillian Whyte has to rematch Alexander Povetkin in order to get his mandatory position back.
Does he have to do it in the next 6 months?
Well, I don't know. You have to ask the WBC. But what I do know, in terms of as far as getting his mandatory position back, that's the fight he has to take.
WBC haven't even said when the mandatory is going to be called. They've also allowed the interim title to be on the line for the interim fights. So do you really think that if Dillian Whyte takes a fight between now and when Povetkin's available, he's going to be unable to fight for that interim belt, which effectively makes him the mandatory challenger? Now, he might lose.
Well, what I think is that if Dillian Whyte takes an interim fight between now and the Povetkin rematch and loses, well, all of a sudden, maybe perhaps the Povetkin rematch goes away.
Well, that's possible. But then if he can't beat Luis Ortiz, then he probably can't beat Povetkin.
Well, he, in fact, didn't beat Povetkin when he was in front of him.
Exactly. So I think Dillian comes from the school of thought that iron sharpens iron.
Well, listen, and I would agree. Look, I'm not arguing against this fight. I'm very much in favor of watching Luis Ortiz knock Dillian the hype job Whyte out, okay? I'm in favor of that fight. I want to see that. However, I don't believe that Dillian Whyte is actually serious in calling out.
I think you misunderstand something.
I'm coming in.
You come in, Rafi.
I want to rock right now. I want to rock right now. Okay, how the hell are you suggesting that Dillian Whyte is somehow in fear of Ortiz when he stepped in against Anthony Joshua? He stepped in against more recently. He stepped in against Anthony Joshua. He stepped in against Joseph Parker. He stepped in against who else? He's just stepped in against Alexander Povetkin. Alexander Povetkin, who is seasoned boxer. Not just
All right, let me explain. Please, I'll be more than happy to explain.
I want to rock right now. Not just as an amateur, but as a professional. Dillian Whyte stepped in voluntarily. He called out Povetkin. He didn't have to fight him. He was already guaranteed. He was already mandatory. He was already the WBC interim champion. The WBC interim champion who was in line for the next crack at the WBC champion, whoever that person may be. He called out Povetkin unnecessary. He called him, says, you're a badass. I want to fight you. Dillian Whyte has shown time and time again, and by his resume, having one of the best resumes in the heavyweight boxing right now, he ain't scared of nobody. And you're trying to suggest that he is somehow in fear of Ortiz, Luis Ortiz? You must be having a laugh, as they say in the UK. Over to you.
Well, so first and foremost, Anthony Joshua. There's a long line of people waiting to fight Anthony Joshua, right?
Is there?
So
is there?
Yeah,
is
there is.
I think Ortiz turned down.
Wait, hold on a second, sir. Wait, I heard you. I heard you.
So there's a long line. Really? You need to show me that line.
He can't substantiate that statement when people are turning down 120 million pounds to fight him. Fury was offered to fight him at Wembley on April the 23rd last year. Turned it down. Dillian Whyte was offered that same fight as well.
Turned it down.
As well as Wilder turning that date down. So where are all these people for?
Where is show me the line? Show me the line.
It's the biggest payday for any heavyweight boxer, and Joshua's struggled to get people in the ring.
Well, Joshua didn't struggle to turn on that $50 million offer that he asked for. He didn't struggle to do that. Okay.
Well,
so like I said,
unfortunately, Fight Doctor.
There's a long line.
Fight Doctor. When the $50 million was offered, Eddie Hearn said, "Yes, we're interested. Can we have a meeting?" Shelley Finkel said, "You have to accept the offer within 24 hours." That's not serious negotiation.
No.
That's what Finkel said.
No, sir. No, sir. That's actually no. Wait. Hold on. Wait. No. There's a difference between an agreement and an offer. Now, what was sent over to Team Joshua was an agreement, not an offer. There's a difference.
No agreement was sent over.
What the hell? You can't send somebody an agreement. Do you want to put up the definition of an agreement?
Email.
So before you can,
from Deontay Wilder.
So before you can actually put together
funds.
Wait.
Refusal to show proof of funds.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait.
Refusal to have a meeting about the offer.
Wait. First of all,
and a 24-hour deadline.
First of all,
you give me another example.
None of that is true.
Let me finish my sentence.
None of that. Wait, you guys never let me finish.
No. I'm going to finish this statement. You can come back on it.
Okay.
Show me another example of a heavyweight, undisputed fight having a 24-hour deadline on an offer.
All right. Are you finished now?
Yeah. One more example where the promoter and manager of a heavyweight champion has offered another heavyweight champion a 24-hour deadline to accept a deal.
All right. So here's how it works, right? When a fight gets made, an offer is not what is initially sent. First thing is there has to be an agreement to fight. So we're not even talking about money. We're talking about, do we agree that we want to fight, right? So Team Wilder sent an agreement letter to Team Joshua. Do you guys agree to fight? This is when Eddie Hearn starts talking about his business about, well, let's see the proof of funds and let's have a meeting. Like, no. Before that's putting the cart before the horse, right? Look, when you're buying a car, before you negotiate the price, okay, you have to actually agree that you want to buy the car, right?
So Eddie Hearn said.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait, hold on a second. Wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait, I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
Shelley Finkel declined. Carry on.
Team Wilder sent an agreement letter to Team Joshua. Team Joshua never agreed to fight.
No,
So
they
if you,
agreed.
wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on a second. I heard you. So let me finish. If you don't agree to fight, then why are we talking about money? Why do you want to see? Wait. Hold on a second. Wait. This is not even signing a contract. This is just agreeing to fight. Agreeing in principle to fight.
Yeah.
Team Joshua. Wait. Hold on a second. Team Joshua never agreed to the fight.
Team Joshua after a meeting. Team Joshua after a meeting.
Listen. Look, what are we? Look, if you haven't agreed to fight, what are we meeting for?
Well, to see
you haven't agreed to fight.
To see what the terms are.
Look, all the terms are agreed after you agree to fight.
No. You agree the terms.
No, sir. That's not how fight negotiations go. First we agree to fight, and then we agree to the terms.
No, you have rubbish. You have to meet. First of all, you have to have a meeting, whether it be
No, sir. That's not how it works.
Excuse me. First of all, who's got the wind noise? Okay, so first of all, you have to agree. First of all, you meet, or virtually, or in reality, teleconference, whatever is on the telephone, emails, and what have you. First of all, you arrange some kind of meeting to this, and you discuss the terms. Shelly Finkel declined. Eddie Hearn was flying over to New York. He had a show on in New York, and he said, well, I'm flying over to New York, so we're going to fix up a meeting. And Shelly Finkel declined to meet.
So you know what a battle agreement is, right? You know what a battle agreement is?
I know what a battle agreement is. Yes, I do. Carry on.
All right. So before you even start discussing or negotiating the terms of the fight, the first thing that happens is you send a battle agreement to the other side. The other side agrees that we're going to have a fight.
No bout agreement was sent.
Yeah. Team Wilder sent a battle agreement to Team Joshua, which they refused to agree to.
Absolutely not.
Okay? So look, there's a process. There is a process.
Fictitious. That is a fictitious story with no basis or foundation.
Can I just ask the fight doctor a question, Rafi?
Of course.
How often does a boxer send the bout agreement himself? How frequently does that happen?
I don't know that happens at all. I
could be wrong. The only contact Team Joshua had from Team Wilder was an email from Deontay Wilder to Eddie Hearn.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, but Eddie Hearn is so full of manure. He needs to be in the. What do you call it?
Well, when he asked Spinoza to produce any further evidence of this, Spinoza was unable to do it.
Wait a minute. Who Spinoza is the guy who runs the TV network? TV network has nothing to do with the negotiation process.
24 hours to accept the deadline. Yet when Joshua was negotiating with Team Wilder prior to Joshua taking on Alexander Povetkin, they set him a written contract for £12.5 million, and they sat on that contract for over a week. After Eddie had asked for extensions. Yet when it's the other way around, there's no contact from the manager and the promoter, and there's a 24-hour deadline.
So let's look at this logically, right? Now, recently Bob Arum actually sued Deontay Wilder's advisor, Al Heyman, for some ungodly amount of money, right? But yet and still, Al Heyman and Bob Arum were able to work together to put together.
That's got nothing to do with
let me finish.
I'm talking about
let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Please, let me finish. Despite the fact that Bob Arum attempted to sue Al Heyman for some ungodly amount of money, Bob Arum and Al Heyman were able to work together in order to make the Fury Wilder rematch.
They work together to duck Anthony Joshua. They work together to duck Anthony Joshua.
Hold on a second. Wait. Hold on a second. Wait a minute, sir. Wait, I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
They work together to duck Anthony Joshua.
I'm not finished, sir.
Carry on.
If you don't mind, I'm not finished.
They work together to duck Anthony Joshua. Carry on.
That's not what. Let's just deal with the facts. Okay, let's just deal with the facts. Now, these are the facts. Wait, this is not a fact that Anthony Joshua, anybody ducked Anthony Joshua. That's not a fact.
It's a damn fact.
You can prove it.
It is a fact. It is a fact. It is a fact.
Now, here are the facts. Wait. Here are the facts. Here are the facts. Now, let me finish. Let me finish. Wait, let me finish. Now, here are the facts. Here are the facts.
They were going to freeze Anthony Joshua out.
Here are the facts.
That is a fact because they said it in the public eye. They both
now,
said
here are the facts.
Freeze out Anthony Joshua.
Here are the facts. Here are the facts. Here are the facts. Al Heyman and Bob Arum were able to work together in order to make the Fury Wilder rematch, despite the fact that Bob Arum had attempted to sue Al Heyman. Now, those are all facts. Now, you are asking me to believe that somehow Team Wilder wasn't able to work with Team Joshua to make a fight, even though they were able to work with Bob Arum to make the Fury fight. Is that what you're asking me?
So what?
Because it seems to me.
They ducked Joshua. So what? They ducked Joshua. They said we're freezing Joshua out. So they got together. They got together and made the fight. Sure. That was the first one.
Because it seems to me,
and then was it so easy? If it was so easy, how come Fury then opted not to go into the rematch? So all of a sudden, it was only easy for the first fight, but then Fury used Deontay Wilder. They weren't buddies like Wilder thought. He used him to capitalize on that fight and and monetize that situation by going over and getting a contract with.
So wait a minute. Wait.
Going over and getting a contract with ESPN.
All right, but then we have to deal with the facts. And the
Wilder
facts
was just a tool. Wilder was just a tool, a pawn in Fury's game to get a large contract with Top Rank and ESPN. Wilder was merely a pawn in the game. So don't treat it like they're some kind of equals. Wilder was not equal to Fury, even in his diminished state, as shown and proven by the outcome of that fight. Wait. How is Wilder somehow diminished? By the fact, as shown. How is Wilder somehow diminished? As shown and proven by the fact that Fury went on to get a very lucrative deal with Top Rank ESPN. Wilder was merely a pawn in the game. How was Wilder somehow diminished? When did Wilder become diminished? How does that work? Wilder is diminished in the fact that he took on a cherry pick, and that cherry pick whooped that ass. So you're saying the rematch was a cherry pick? No. The first fight was a cherry pick. The rematch, you're talking about how great the relationship was between Wilder and Fury and how they made the fight so easy. Well, that was just a pawn in the game. Wilder was a mere pawn in the game because, as I've stated, Fury went on and got a lucrative deal with ESPN Top Rank. So Wilder. So now let's look at the facts. Wilder was able to make a big fight. The relationship was, but how great was the relationship? How great was the relationship when it came to make the second fight? How great was the relationship? Let's look at the facts. So now let's look at the facts. Now here are the facts. Looking at the facts, but let's hear what you. Here are the facts. All right, here are the facts. Well, I don't know about Team Wilder and Team Fury were able to make big fights, not on one, but on two separate occasions. What are you talking about? Two separate occasions? It was hell. It was hell on earth for Wilder to get Fury back in the ring the second time around. Did they make the fight? Did they make the rematch? Eventually, they got round to it when Fury was ready. They made the rematch, yes? When Fury was ready, Team Wilder and Team Fury. So again, let's deal with the facts. And the facts are this. On two separate occasions, Team Fury and Team Wilder were both able to make big fights. Exactly what big fight has
Anthony Joshua made.
OMG, are you serious? Okay.
I'm asking a question.
Vladimir Klitschko, 90.
Vladimir Klitschko is a big fight.
90,000 people. 90,000 people.
So fighting a 41-year-old has-been is a big fight.
Oh,
a
90,000 people say yes.
So beating
people in attendance in one place says yes. I cannot believe you cannot be serious.
So how many pay-per-views in America did that fight sell?
Andreas the
How many pay-per-views in America did that fight sell?
I'm leading off the big fight. Andreas the Punch Ruiz.
How many pay-per-views in America did that fight sell?
Excuse me. Could you please
stop
interrupting?
How many pay-per-views in America did those fights sell?
Excuse me. Could you please stop interrupting? Okay, so one big fight. Vitaly Klitschko in front of 90. Just mute yourselves with you got background noise, please. Andreas the Punch Ruiz. Vladimir Klitschko, 90,000 people in live attendance. Andreas the Punch Ruiz in the rematch. Well, even in the first fight, it outsold the wildest fight that he had at the going on at the roughly the same time. Andreas the Punch Ruiz, the second fight in Saudi Arabia, a reputed $85 million or pounds, whatever it was, went to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has consistently been in bigger fights than both Wilder and Tyson Fury. He outsells them. He is the biggest marquee heavyweight out there right now and has been since he came into.
So your definition of a big fight is a guy fighting another guy who is coming off of a loss and a year layoff.
A big fight is who's coming off a loss and a big layoff? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Who are you talking
Vladimir
about?
Vladimir Klitschko, when he fought Anthony Joshua, was coming off of a loss.
So what? And
a year layoff.
So what?
They hadn't beaten anybody in over 2 years, in almost 2 years. Over 2 years, as a matter of fact.
What did you say? What did you just say? What did you just say?
Vladimir Klitschko had not beaten anyone in over 2 years when he fought Anthony Joshua.
And Tyson Fury has not beaten a top 10 opponent in 4 years. What's your point? Until recently, yeah. Until he beat. Okay, let's put it even better. Tyson Fury had not beat a top 10 opponent in 3.5 to 4 years until he beat Deontay Wilder. OMG! Iron Kong has come back up.
So how many pay-per-views has Anthony Joshua sold in the U.S.?
Excuse me. Iron Kong has come back in the building. Let's have some parliamentary procedure, please.
Yeah, Rafi, I just kind of driving and listening the whole discourse, and I find the whole thing distasteful and disingenuous from the brother, because how you gonna sit down here and tell me something about what big fights Anthony Joshua has been in? Deontay Wilder was in the house when Anthony Joshua was crowned king of the heavyweight division. I was marveling at the 90,000 people. Oh man, I gotta do this back in America. I gotta do something like this back in America. Before that, Deontay Wilder has never been in a big fight.
Anthony Joshua.
Hold on. Let me finish, man. You don't have to let the talk, man. Hold on. Deontay Wilder still to this day has not beaten anybody on the level of Vladimir Klitschko. Not a soul he beaten on the level of that. Not a soul. Nobody. You understand me? Deontay Wilder had a chance to fight Vladimir Klitschko, but he was a baby at 30-something fight. You understand me? You got Deontay Wilder, who you talking about Vladimir Klitschko was on his long layoff. Why was he on layoff? He was on layoff because Tyson Fury ducked the man. Went on a coke binge. And that's the man you talking about. Deontay Wilder fought. It was a big fight. Deontay Wilder got beaten up by a man who was on like a 3-year long drug binge. You know what I'm saying? And you talking about Vladimir Klitschko and Anthony Joshua? Deontay Wilder gonna go down as one of the only heavyweights to admittedly turn down the opportunity to fight for the undisputed championship of the world. This man is a duck. He's a disgrace. You call yourself fight doctor, where you need to go and diagnose this ducking syndrome Deontay Wilder got, he said out of his own mouth, I don't know more money to fight Anthony Joshua to fight you. He don't know undisputed rights of the world. And you come up here talking about Wilder? Oh, give me a break, man.
So I will ask the question again. Exactly how many? I will ask the question. I will ask the question again. Exactly how many pay-per-views has Anthony Joshua sold in the United States? Can anyone answer that question for me, please?
Because according to you, brother, according to you guys, America is the world. America is the world. Before Tyson Fury come over, how much Deontay Wilder sold? Huh?
Can I answer that question? I want to answer that question. Anthony Joshua, I believe, has sold 0 pay-per-views in America because he fights on the same platform as Canelo, Dazn, a streaming service. Who was the highest paid boxer in 2019, Fight Doctor? And what was the size of the two purses?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really keep up with fighters.
Anthony Joshua was the highest paid boxer in 2019. He had a purse of $32 million and $85 million. Tyson Fury and Wilder just did 1 million pay-per-views, just shy of 1 million pay-per-views in America. Their combined purses were less than $85 million. The amount that Anthony Joshua was paid to fight after a loss.
So let me ask this question. Who did Anthony Joshua fight in 2019?
2019?
Andy Ruiz.
Mm-hmm.
He lost to him, and then he regained his belts. He got paid $32 million for selling
Were either of those big fights? Were either of those fights big fights?
Well, the purses were the two biggest purses of
No, that wasn't the question I asked. The question I asked is, were either of those fights big fights?
The fight in Madison Square, Anthony Joshua sold out a bigger stadium in Madison Square Garden than Deontay Wilder ever did in America. Matter of fact, I don't think Deontay Wilder ever sold out anywhere in America. Never. Matter of fact, so you talk about big fights?
And to follow it up, Anthony Joshua broke the pay-per-view record for the second fight in the UK. And they're the two biggest purses.
Boom.
And he managed to do that against somebody who wasn't very well known.
So
when has Wilder?
I guess we have a different. So we have a different definition of what a big fight is, because see, in my mind, wait, hold on a second, wait. I heard you guys. Now let me finish. Now look, I think you guys have a different definition of what is a big fight than what I have, and you've confused what is drawing power to what is actually a significant fight, right?
Okay.
Now, so Anthony Joshua. Let me finish. Let me finish. Right? Let me finish. Now, Anthony Joshua fighting Andy Ruiz, a big fight in terms of Anthony Joshua's drawing power, sure, but in terms of its significance, that was an insignificant fight. The first fight was insignificant, as was the rematch.
Okay.
Wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. So if your argument is that the Ruiz fights were big fights, I would argue that they were insignificant because they didn't prove anything. In fact, let me finish. The only thing that the Andy Ruiz fights proved is that Anthony Joshua can be knocked out by the Pillsbury Doughboy. That's all those fights proved.
Can I ask you a question, Fight Doctor?
I'm listening.
Why was it that Anthony Joshua was unable to fulfill the Wembley date that they had booked that cost a lot of money? Cost a lot of money to lay out and book Wembley Stadium. Holds 90,000 people. If you're unaware, football in the UK is a huge sport that generates a lot of money. A heck of a lot of money. Eddie Hearn paid the money to reserve that venue up front, offered Deontay Wilder a contract to fight there, and he had to lose his deposit. That is why he ended up fighting Pillsbury Doughboy. So why is it that
has nothing to do with the fight?
Have a significant fight? The reason is what Iron Kong's already told you. Deontay Wilder ducked it.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on a second. 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 Wait. Hold on. Listen. Anthony Joshua has not had a significant fight in the whole of his career.
No. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So what was the significant fight? What fight?
Wash the mushrooms next time.
The madman.
Wash the mushrooms before you eat them and cook the mushrooms.
So, all right, if I'm wrong, then what fight was what is the significant fight of his career? What was the career defining fight of his career?
He's had since he became champion, and even before he became champion, he became
unification.
Champion. Unification.
Unification with who? Unification with who? Unification with who? Who did he unify with?
Joseph Parker and Vladimir Klitschko.
Vladimir Klitschko was coming off a loss in an 18-month layoff. What are you talking about? How is that fight significant? The only thing that Klitschko fight proved.
Let me talk, man. Deontay will never even try you. I realize when it comes to Deontay Wilder, all of a sudden your all appreciation of the sport, of the sport's history, all of that go out the window. Before it was undisputed. It was unification. When it comes to Wilder, that's not important. The problem is Anthony Joshua was unifying while Deontay Wilder was fighting who? If Anthony Joshua fighting Joseph Parker and Klitschko and these people were not important, who was Wilder fighting at that time was better than them? for nothing. In Alabama with Gerald Washington and these people getting pieced up by Gerald Washington. Yo, y'all gotta stop this ridiculous hypocrisy. You are selling out the sport for your fanboyism, and that's all I got to say. Rafi, out to here,
so look, the most significant fight of Anthony Joshua's career so far.
He's got his own channel. Go check him out. See what's going on over there. Okay.
So the most significant fight of Anthony Joshua's career thus far has been the disaster, which was the Andy Ruiz fight. That's the most significant part of his career so far.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's beyond comprehension. That's beyond logic. Significant fights are. You'd have to say when a fighter becomes a champion, that is a hell of a significant fight.
Anthony Joshua never became a champion. In order to become a champion, you have to beat one. Anthony Joshua has never beaten the heavyweight champion of the world. So what are you talking about?
He beat.
Hold on a minute.
Hold on a minute. Carry on.
By the fight doctor's definition, the heavyweight championship of the world has been vacant since Lennox Lewis retired.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if you wish to make that argument, that's fine. Okay, I have no problem. I have a different opinion. All right. However, the fact of the matter is this. The fact of the matter is this.
No, I want to hear your explanation as to how Vladimir Klitschko.
So the vacancy was filled when Vladimir beat either Ibragimov or the other guy whose name I can't remember, but it was a case.
Ruslan
Chagayev. It was one of those two fights.
At that time, Vitaly Klitschko was active and the WBC champion. So try and explain to me how Ruslan Chagayev is number 2 over Vitaly Klitschko.
So it was like I said, it was either Chagayev or Ibragimov. I can't remember who.
I had this conversation with Mike DeSouza. Do you know who he is?
I do.
Do you know who he is?
Actually, I do. Now look, we can look. Listen, I would be more than happy. Listen, I would be more than happy. I would be more than happy. I would be more than happy. I would be more than happy.
John Dealey wants to explain about the email from the fella. Carry on, John.
Yes, well, it is slightly different to my opinion. Mike DeSouza did recognize Vladimir Klitschko as the lineal and based it on him beating Ruslan Chagayev, which I strongly disagree with, seeing as Vitaly was still an active champion at the time and hadn't retired and had defended his belts, I think 6 months prior. But if you make that argument, I have an email from Mike saying that Tyson Fury retired and gave up his lineal championship, and it had become vacant when he retired.
Okay, listen, I have no problem. I have no problem with that argument. Now, like I said, it was either the Chagayev or the Ibragimov fight. and it was probably
It's
the
not either or.
Wait, hold on a second. I heard you. Now, wait, hold on a second. I heard you. Now, let me finish. I heard you. Let me finish. I heard you. Let me finish. And no, it is not. Okay. Now, and if you want to have that debate, I'll go get all the facts because. And then we can have a debate.
No, we got the facts here. You can go to your library.
Now, like I said, it was either the Shigaya fight or the Ibrahimov fight.
You can
it
go
was a case of number one and number two. Billy Klitschko was already retired. Billy Klitschko was already retired by the time the fight happened.
He went on to make defenses subsequently because this is well.
You're talking about the Shigaya fight. Listen. It was either the Shigaya or the Ibrahimov fight. I don't recall which fight it was.
Mike DeSouza.
Well, we're not talking about Mike DeSouza. I'm not talking about Mike DeSouza, okay?
So you don't recognize Cyberzone Boxing as a custodian of the lineal championship, which is fine because
actually I do. If you go check Cyberzone Boxing lists Vladimir Klitschko as the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, along with Tyson Fury. So what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about?
Two things. This is what I'm talking about, right? To be clear, yeah.
If you want to be clear,
hold on. You asked the question. You asked the question. Let the man answer the question you asked.
I'll answer it. Cyberzone Boxing are not the only custodial of the lineal championship. I don't agree with their view. There are others. Have you heard of Anna Boxologist Whitlock?
I have not. No.
This lineal argument is an argument between historians. So each historian has their case. None of them are factual because history is opinion. There are certain facts. Mike DeSouza considers the Ruslan Chagiev fight to be when the 1 and 2 fought. Unfortunately for Mike, Vitaly was still active and a WBC champion in the year of that fight and fought afterwards. And it wasn't on the line during the fight. It was awarded retrospectively.
Okay, so what does that have to do with the fight in China? Wait, what does that have to do with the fight? Wait, hold on a second. Wait. I haven't finished.
Your claim is that Deontay Wilder fought the heavyweight champion of the world on the basis that Tyson Fury is lineal champion. I am debunking your claim, and I have email.
When did I make that claim? Wait, hold on a second. When did I make that claim? Because I don't recall making that claim. The claim that I made. No, wait, hold on a second. Wait, now see, first you're putting words in my mouth. Stop. Don't do that. Second, the claim that I made was Anthony Joshua is not the heavyweight champion of the world and has never fought the heavyweight champion of the world. That's the claim that I made.
So who is then?
Tyson Fury.
And how did he win that title?
Yeah.
Well, either way you put it. Look.
No. I'm asking the question. Answer the question.
He won the title from Vladimir Klitschko.
I've just debunked Vladimir's status.
No, you did not. No, you didn't. No, you did not. No, you did not. No, you did not.
How was Vladimir?
No, you did not. How did you? Exactly how did you debunk Vladimir's claim as being the lineal champion? How did you do that?
Fury become lineal?
I'll tell you exactly how I debunked it. Vitaly Klitschko was an active WBC champion at the time that Vladimir Klitschko fought Ruslan Chagiev. If you need who says
that Vladimir Klitschko won the heavyweight championship of the world when he beat Shagayev? Who says that? Who said that? Who made that claim? Who made that claim? Well, maybe so then maybe they're wrong. Maybe they're wrong.
Just recognize them as the custodian of the lineal championship.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Yes, you did. You said you go on Cyberzone's channel and they will show that Tyson Fury was the lineal. That's what you said.
I said that they recognize Vladimir Klitschko as the lineal champion. I did not say that they were correct. I did not say that they were right. Listen, I did not say that they were correct in their assessment of when he won the title. Okay, I didn't say that.
Fight Doctor, who do you recognize as the custodian of the lineal championship then?
Okay, well, listen. I don't know that the lineal championship has a custodian.
There are
it's
different
pretty much.
historians that make different arguments for who holds the title.
And I
can
no
quote
agreement,
the different
no disagreement from me.
historians to you if
No argument from me.
need me to. But
at
when
the
we
end of the
have
day,
a
listen. At the end of the
not
day,
forming a consensus, that shows clearly that there is not agreement across the people who are custodians of the lineal title. It's that simple.
All right. So then why don't we do this? Why don't we have a look and see how many of these so-called historians actually agree that Vladimir Klitschko held the lineal title? How about we do that?
How about you tell me? How about you tell me when Vladimir Klitschko became the lineal champion? How about you?
I'll be more than happy to gather all the facts and make the case.
Don't gather no facts. Just tell me how Vladimir Klitschko became the lineal champion in your opinion.
I don't listen. I would have to go get all the facts, and then I'll be more than happy.
It's a simple question. It's a simple question. You're telling me that Vladimir Klitschko was the lineal. Tell me how, when, where. How did he?
I'll be more than happy to do that. I'll go gather all the facts, and then we can have the debate.
You're telling me that a man's lineal champion. You can't tell me that you're telling me that a man was a lineal champion, but you can't tell me how. You're telling me that a man was a lineal champion, and you're telling me you can't tell me how.
Listen, there are multiple sources that make the argument that Vladimir Klitschko was a lineal champion.
There's also multiple sources that make the counter argument that he wasn't, though.
How?
Hold on, let me just tell him this. Let me just say this to him. Irrespective of whether it's Ibragimov or Chagayev, Vitaly was an active champion. So it doesn't really make any difference which one it is, which is what I think you're scrapping.
Villany was not an active champion. Villany was not. He had already retired.
Don't worry. I'll just put their box recs in the chat for you to go and check for yourself.
Okay, fine. No problem. No problem. Look, if you want to have that debate, listen, if you want to have that debate, I'll tell you what, if you wish to have that debate, you name the place, you name the time, I will have all the facts at my command. Then we can have that debate.
Okay. No, Rafi.
Yeah.
I name Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio on Saturday, the 19th of December at 17:36 GMT time. You've got 60 seconds, Fight Doctor.
Naturally.
Are you ready?
Are
you ready? Because I am. I'm ready.
Quite naturally.
Name your time and your place. Let's go.
All right. Quite naturally. So I think that you have made my ultimate point, which is Anthony Joshua has never beaten or even fought for the heavyweight championship of the world.
For the heavyweight championship of the world. He did.
Anthony Joshua has definitely never fought for the lineal championship of the world.
All right.
So Anthony Joshua is not a champion, period.
Yeah. And I'd argue to you on your basis, nobody will be a champion until, as it stands, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight, and we have an undisputed champion, or consensus 1 and 2 fight, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yep.
And there will be
we already had a consensus number 1 and number 2 fight.
No,
That's
we didn't. That was not a consensus across the board. That wasn't a consensus across the board. Some people viewed them as 1 and 2. Some people didn't.
Okay. That wasn't consensus. That was
so that thereby it isn't a consensus.
Well, you still made my point, which is Anthony Joshua is not a champion and has never fought for the heavyweight championship of the world. So thank you for making my point. Thank you for making my point. Thank you for making my point. Thank you for making my case.
Because
Anthony Joshua has the strongest. Anthony Joshua has the strongest resume as a heavyweight champion.
Getting knocked out by Andrew Ruiz makes your resume strong.
Hold on a second. Anthony Joshua has the strongest resume as a heavyweight champion in recent years.
So getting knocked out by Andrew Ruiz makes your resume strong.
Tyson Fury has beat one person in the current Ring Magazine top 10. Tyson Fury has beaten one. That's Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has beaten 2 people in the current Ring Magazine top 10 ratings. That is Tyson Fury and no, he hasn't beat him. He's fought 2 people. He lost to Tyson Fury and he beat Ortiz. Anthony Joshua has fought and beat 5 people in the current Ring Magazine top 10. Anthony Joshua has the strongest resume at heavyweight in recent years.
You do realize, of course, that Tyson Fury's resume urinates and defecates all over Anthony Joshua's. You realize that, right?
Well, Tyson Fury, who's only fought one top 10 heavyweight in the last 5 years, certainly does. In the last 4.5 years, certainly does not. He doesn't come anywhere near.
So getting knocked out by the Pillsbury Doughboy makes your resume strong.
A loss which was avenged.
Yeah, but in order to avenge a loss, you first have to
any
lose.
loss in an immediate rematch does actually make your resume strong.
Yes.
Because it cancels themselves out. And as you've already agreed, as you've already agreed, yeah, all-time greats can be knocked out in the heavyweight division.
Anthony Joshua is not an all-time great.
I haven't said that. But to be considered to have a good resume, and you do an immediate rematch with the man that knocked you out and completely win a lopsided decision, whether you give Ruiz a couple of rounds or not, it's still a lopsided decision, says it's a good resume. It is yet to be seen whether Anthony Joshua can become an all-time great. He's got a long way to go.
Wilder has never been a heavyweight champion. Is that correct, the Fight Doctor?
That is correct.
OMG. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, and the guy who you say is the heavyweight champion has a weaker resume than Anthony Joshua in terms of consistently fighting top 10 opponents. He urinates and defecates all over. Tyson Fury's wins and Deontay Wilder's wins combined. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder combined only have 3 wins of top 10 of guys in the top 10 Ring magazine currently. I repeat, 3. Anthony Joshua has 5. He urinates and defecates over both Tyson Fury's and Deontay Wilder's performances in the last 5 years.
So how many times has Tyson Fury been knocked out?
Hold on. It doesn't really matter who has a better resume, because I think after Christmas, the AJ Fury fight is going to be announced.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter. If you want to say having 2 much better wins, but the rest of your wins are complete dross, outweighs 5 very good wins, but none of them are as good as those 2 wins, that's fine. You know, that's a different scoring criteria that you're using.
So how many times has Tyson Fury been? How many times has Tyson Fury? How many times has Tyson Fury been knocked out in his prime?
Never.
None.
How many times was Joe Louis knocked out in his prime?
So let me ask this question.
No, ask the question, Fight Doctor.
Ask the question.
The question. How many times was
Joe Louis was knocked out once in his prime?
How many times has Joshua been knocked out in his prime?
There's no comparisons to be made between.
Hold on. You're the one who keeps bringing up this knockout issue, so I just want to put it to bed.
Yeah.
How many times has Anthony Joshua been knocked out in his prime?
Yeah. Don't fudge it.
How many times is
No. Answer the question.
How many times has Anthony Joshua been knocked out in his prime? One time.
Yeah.
Once.
There we go.
So the same number as Joe Louis.
Yeah.
How many times?
Why are we still talking about this subject? I don't understand.
So how many times did Joe Louis defend the lineal heavyweight championship?
Yeah, but I'm not saying Anthony Joshua is as good.
How many times? Wait, answer the question.
25.
How many times has Anthony Joshua defended the lineal heavyweight championship?
0.
Thank you. All right. No comparison.
How many times has Tyson Fury defended?
Because this is irrelevant. Fight Doctor, my point is, even if an all-time great like Joe Louis can be knocked out in his prime, somebody who is a good fighter but isn't an all-time great, who only gets knocked out once in their prime as a heavyweight, it's no big deal. So why do you keep talking about it? That's actually my point. It's not that Anthony Joshua is as good as Joe Louis. My point is, Joe Louis is my number one all-time great. He's my number one. So my point is, if it can happen to Joe Louis, why is it a disgrace when it happens to somebody else? Particularly when that guy goes and rematches him 6 months after the event.
Yeah.
The question is, what has Anthony Joshua done in the whole of his career?
No, but he's not an
What he's
all-time
done in
great.
the whole of his career is he
You're right. He's not a whole-time great.
He won the world championship at his 16th fight, I believe.
Anthony Joshua is not a world champion.
He is a bloody world champion. Stop being so bloody stupid. Stop being so bloody stupid. He's a world champion. He's the unified champion. Not only he's a world champion, he's a unified champion. Yeah. So how the hell are you saying he's not a world champion?
By his measure,
yeah.
Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua will fight for the world championship next year. So you can argue that Anthony Joshua hasn't done anything in his career yet, but he has made offers to people to fight for the world championship by his measure. They've been turned down on multiple occasions. And I believe the next time Anthony Joshua makes an offer to fight for the world championship, it will be accepted and the outcome will be decided. It's that simple, Fight Doctor.
It's that simple. So
and Tyson
when Anthony Joshua becomes the world champion, I will be more than happy to acknowledge the fact.
No. Don't be bloody silly. Don't be bloody silly. Anthony Joshua is the unified. I'm not accepting your nonsense hypothesis. Anthony Joshua is the unified heavyweight champion. He holds the WBO, the WBA, the IBF heavyweight title straps. He is the possessor of them, and he has held them for something like 3 years. He lost it and immediately regained all the belts. Anthony Joshua is the unified heavyweight champion of the bloody world.
So let me ask you a question.
You talk about facts. Well, that, my friend, is
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Deontay Wilder was deep into his defenses as a WBC champion long before Anthony Joshua held any of those WBO, WBA, IBF, whatever the hell title belts. Carry on. So if Deontay Wilder is the world champion, quote unquote, and Anthony Joshua is the world champion, quote unquote, how can that be? How can you have two world champions when there's only one world? How does that make sense?
Well, they're gonna come together. They're gonna do Tyson Fury is gonna get with Anthony Joshua and do something that Deontay Wilder would never dream of doing, and that is to fight Anthony Joshua. So
my question is
will become one.
My question to you is this. Tyson Fury is the WBC world champion, right?
Yes.
So Tyson Fury is the world champion?
The WBC world champion.
No, that wasn't the question. The question is Tyson Fury a world champion?
Tyson Fury is the WBC world champion.
So I'm going to read into your answer that Tyson Fury is not the world champion. Yes?
Tyson Fury is the WBC world champion. There are different
Anthony Joshua the world champion? Is Anthony Joshua the world champion?
Joshua is the unified world champion.
Is Anthony Joshua the world champion?
Anthony Joshua is the unified world champion.
So I'm going to read into your answer that Anthony Joshua is not the world champion because I didn't ask you about unified.
You've read wrong because I've stated at least 2 occasions that Anthony Joshua is the unified world champion. There is only one unified world champion currently, and his name is Anthony Olansi Joshua.
My question was not if Anthony Joshua is the unified world champion because we don't live in a unified world. My question to you is Anthony Joshua the world? Wait. Let him answer the question. Let him answer the question.
Yeah, but my question is not. You're not correct, and you're not correct. Fight Doctor.
How
You
am I
just
not
hold an
correct?
opinion.
You're not correct. You're incorrect. You're not correct.
Opinions are not facts.
Wait. What is wait? It's my opinion that we only live in one world? That's my opinion?
No, it is your opinion that you only recognize the lineal title. There are
No, that's not my opinion. That's not my opinion. That's a fact that I only recognize the world.
It's not a fact.
No,
I'll tell you why.
It's a fact that I only recognize the lineal title. That's a fact. That's not my opinion.
What you recognize the Fight Doctor.
Okay, hold on. I'll reword that for him then. If he wants to play these semantic games, I'll reword this for him. It is a fact that you only recognize it, but it's an opinion that you're correct to only recognize it. Other people hold different views. These are all opinions, not facts.
Other people can hold Captain in a bag, and that does not have anything to do with the price of tea in China. What other people?
What do you mean the price of tea in China, right?
Yeah, the price of tea in China has
the
nothing to do.
Historians who are responsible for the custodianship of the lineal title cannot agree on its definition. Number of lineages.
There are no historians who are responsible for the custodianship of the heavyweight championship of the world.
So who's responsible for it then? How do we know who the lineal champion is?
There's a consensus. The
public who forms that consensus?
The public does.
Okay, and you explain to me which public consensus ever designated Ibrahimov or Ruslan Chagayev ahead of Vitaly Klitschko as the number 2 or number 1 heavyweight of the world? Because during the Klitschko reign, opinions were split about which one of those two brothers was.
I'm not going to argue against you. I agree. There was a tremendous amount of confusion during the two-headed reign of the Klitschko sisters. Okay. So I'm agreeing with you
on that basis. I've got another question for you. How many heavyweight lineages have there been, and how do you form a new lineage?
You form a new lineage. So historically, there are two ways to form a new lineage. One way is when the retired champion, when the old champion, he designates 2 fighters who will fight for his old crown. That's one example. The second example.
That's interesting. Hold on a second. It's very interesting that you take that view, but carry on.
All right, so there's an example. There's historical precedent.
I know the historical precedent. I'm just surprised that such a big Jack Johnson fan accepts that historical precedent, seeing as it was done as a way to draw the colour line. That's specifically the only reason those two guys were allowed to fight for that title, as opposed to the number 1 and 2 fighting.
If you wish to have a debate about the whole politics of the deal, I'm more than happy to have that debate, right? But that's not what we're talking about right now.
We probably agree. But I don't recognise that as an acceptable way to start a new lilineage.
Listen, that's fine. I'm just going over. Listen,
hold on a second. I've missed something.
That guy. Hold on, Rafi. It'll become clear in a second. That guy who retired came out of retirement and did fight Jack Johnson. So there's a school of thought that there is a continuous lineage from John L. Sullivan all the way to Gene Tunney. So I don't recognise the premise that you're making.
What premise am I making? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You're saying that the heavyweight champion, when he retires, can elect 2 fighters to fight for the title. I say no, they can't.
Well, so
I say, that Jim Jeffries came out of retirement and was beaten soundly by Jack Johnson. So that's a continuous lineage from John L. Sullivan all the way to Gene Tunney. I say there are 3 lineages. And when the heavyweight champion retires, you need an undisputed fight to establish a new lineage.
Yes.
So wait. Listen, look. At the end of the day, and look, if you wish to make that argument, that's fine. I'm not going to argue against you. The point I'm making is that there's historical precedent for the heavyweight champion when he retires to designate 2 fighters to fight for his old crown. Now, I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm not saying that's right. What I'm saying is there's historical precedent. And I'm noting the 2 examples in how you establish a new lineage in the absence of a lineal heavyweight champion, when he retires or when he dies or whatever might happen, okay? And the first example is when the old champion, the retiring champion, designates 2 fighters to fight for his old crown. The second instance where you can establish new lineage is when a lineal champion retires. The number one, the consensus number one, and the consensus number two in the division fight to establish a new lineage.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now, do we agree?
Yeah, carry on. Vladimir Klitschko did not fight the consensus number two. Boom, boom, boom.
There's an argument that he did. There's an argument that he didn't. All right,
He
now.
did not. There is no argument that he did. He did not. Vladimir Klitschko.
I'm sorry, sir, but there is an argument. There is an argument that he did fight the number two.
Excuse me. Vladimir Klitschko did not fight the consensus number two.
Okay.
And therefore, that argument that he fought the number two and therefore was lineal is null and void, my dear fellow. No and void.
The people who argue against the legitimacy of Vladimir Klitschko's title reign, I have no problem with that argument. Because, again, during the Klitschko reign, the top two heavyweights refused to fight each other. So there was a lot of confusion during that time.
Well, why did Deontay Wilder not step in? He was around at that time. He became champion at that time. But Shelley Finkel said, and I quote, "Deontay's just a baby."
What does any of that have to do with the fact that Anthony Joshua is not the heavyweight champion of the world?
I'll tell you what. First of all, Anthony Joshua is the unified heavyweight champion of the world, and I'll tell you what it's got to do with. We do
not live in a unified world.
Anthony Joshua stepped up and fought Vladimir Klitschko. Why did your boy Deontay, the bronze twerker Wilder, why did he not step up and fight?
Vladimir Klitschko was not the heavyweight champion of the world when Anthony Joshua fought him. So that fight, as far as heavyweight championship legacy is concerned, is irrelevant. It is inconsequential. It has no meaning whatsoever.
Okay.
So why do you keep bringing it up? Because the fight really doesn't mean anything.
I will counter your argument, sir. I will counter your argument. Tyson Fury fought Christian Hamer immediately prior to 2015, immediately prior to fighting Vladimir Klitschko. And in that fight with Christian Hamer, it was established that Tyson Fury had steroid metabolites in his system.
What does Tyson Fury failing a drug test have to do with the fact that Anthony Joshua is not the heavyweight champion of the world? What does that have to do with anything?
Excuse me, sir. I have not finished. So, Tyson, yes, he did. AOBZ asked, did he just say AJ is not the champion? Yes, he did. Okay, but anyway, Tyson Fury tested positive for the steroid nandrolone after the Christian Hamer fight. Therefore, Tyson Fury should have been serving a ban at the time that he fraudulently stepped in the ring against Vitaly Klitschko. And as a result, that fight should be ruled null and void. And I can't remember the original point, but so yeah, there we have the backdrop. There we have the back.
I can tell you what my original point was.
I remember the original point now. Why did Deontay Wilder not step up and fight Vitaly Klitschko? Yeah, why did he not?
What does Deontay Wilder have to do with the fact that Anthony Joshua is not the heavyweight champion of the world?
I've told you several times, Anthony Joshua is the unified heavyweight champion of the world.
We do not live in the unified world.
It doesn't
we don't live in that world.
It doesn't matter what kind of world.
Fight, doctor. Just because you are of the opinion that you only recognize the lineal title, that doesn't make you correct. Because it's dispute over lineages, number of lineages. So that's just your opinion. It's not a fact. So why are you arguing with somebody who holds a different opinion to you?
So, and I'll be more than happy to answer that question.
Time.
I'll be more than happy to answer that question. If Anthony Joshua is the champion, exactly who did he beat to gain that resignation?
Yeah, he beat.
Who did he beat?
He beat Charles Martin He beat.
So Charles Martin was the heavyweight champion of the world when Anthony Joshua beat him. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
The defense rests.
Oh,
because that argument, because the prosecution is making an argument, is making a ridiculous argument.
Charles Martin was a heavyweight champion of the world when Joshua beat him to become a heavyweight champion of the world. Anthony Joshua went.
Who did Charles Martin beat?
Anthony Joshua went.
Who did Charles Martin beat?
Who did Stavern beat before?
Nobody. Nobody.
Okay, thank you. So what's your point?
My point is Anthony Joshua is not the heavyweight champion of the world. Simple.
Okay.
Who did he beat?
Anthony Joshua beat Charles Martin to become a heavyweight champion of the world. He then went on to in a unification bout with Parker, Joseph Parker. I think it was, when did he beat Parker? It was after he beat Vladimir. And then he went on in a bout with what you call the lineal champion in Vitaly Klitschko, who had only lost in recent times to a drug-fueled Tyson Fury. And so I put it to you that you tried to diminish Anthony Joshua's accomplishment in beating Vladimir Klitschko, but I put it to you that it was a legitimate win. It was quite clearly a legitimate win. That was the best. Sports writers from around the world proclaimed it as one of the best heavyweight bouts in the last 10 years. Sports writers around the world proclaimed Vladimir Klitschko to look better than he had done in many years. That was a motivated Vladimir Klitschko. It was Vladimir Klitschko who wanted to get his belts back. He had not been so motivated in years. It wasn't a lackadaisical Vladimir Klitschko. It was a motivated Vladimir Klitschko. And the fact that you try to diminish Anthony Joshua's accomplishments in beating multiple champions, including Povetkin, who is far better than your boy over there in America, Luis Ortiz. Far better resume, far better accomplishment.
Anthony Joshua has never beaten a heavyweight champion.
Far better.
He's never beaten the heavyweight champion.
He's beaten
never, not one time.
He's beaten multiple heavyweight champions.
This is just a semantic argument. This is a semantic argument where you've conceded that that's just your opinion rather than it being a fact, because you choose to only recognize the lineal title.
Okay, so if Anthony Joshua is beating the heavyweight champion, then who did he beat? Who's the heavyweight champion that he beat? Please tell me.
I've told you multiple times, but I'm going to tell you again. He beat Charles Martin. He beat Vladimir Klitschko.
On Fight Doctor's argument, you can argue that there is no world heavyweight champion. So
I'm not going to go on his argument. Why would I go on the Fight Doctor? Why would I go on the Fight Doctor?
I'm trying to highlight, Rafi, that it's just an opinion. He's trying to present it as fact. And there's a substantial difference between fact and opinion.
Okay, so then I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Historians have with identifying who the lineal champion is in the first place. It's something that can't be done, Fight Doctor. It's an opinion, not a fact, and you're masquerading your opinion as a fact.
Okay, so then let's deal with the facts. I have no problem with that. So what are the facts? What are the facts?
Carry on.
So what are the facts?
Carry on.
Has Anthony Joshua ever beaten a guy recognized as the lineal heavyweight champion?
Yes. Well, a former lineal.
No, that wasn't the question. The question was, has Anthony Joshua ever beaten a guy recognized as the lineal heavyweight? Not was.
The only guy who has done that would be Tyson Fury in the strictest sense of the word. Tyson Fury beat Vitaly Klitschko before Joshua did, if that's what you want to know. Yes, Tyson Fury has been in the game for multiple years, longer than Anthony Joshua, and it is no surprise, therefore, that he got the first dibs at Vitaly Klitschko. At the time he fought Vitaly Klitschko, I'm not even sure if Anthony Joshua was a professional boxer yet. Was Anthony Joshua a professional boxer in 2015? Where are we now? 22, I guess he was. Yeah, because he's been longer. Yeah, okay. So Anthony Joshua had only just turned professional when Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko. But on the other hand, your boy Deontay Wilder had been a professional for some years, and so he could have fought Vladimir Klitschko, but opted not to because, according to his manager, Deontay's just a baby.
Wait, so Vladimir Klitschko was not the lineal heavyweight champion when Anthony Joshua fought him. So I don't understand.
I just told you, Joshua was only a 1-year professional by the time that Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko. What do you want him to do? Did you want him to fight Vladimir Klitschko? Did you want Anthony Joshua to fight Vladimir Klitschko in his first year as a professional? Yay or nay?
So, by your own admission, Vladimir,
yay or nay? Did you expect Anthony Joshua to fight Vitaly Klitschko in his first year as a professional? Yay or nay?
Your own
hold on a minute, Rafi, though. I don't understand why the fight doctor is talking about Vladimir Klitschko, because Vladimir Klitschko is the heavyweight champion of the world according to the fight doctor's criteria.
You're a bit muffled, John. You're a bit muffled.
The last heavyweight champion of the world was Lennox Lewis. The last heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
According to the fight.
Was Lennox Lewis, yeah.
All right, so I have a question for John Dillian. Answer this question. When did Lennox Lewis become the heavyweight champion of the world?
When did he become?
When he beat Shannon Briggs.
Okay.
I'm glad you answered that question. When did Shannon Briggs become the heavyweight champion of the world?
When he beat George Foreman.
And when did George Foreman become the heavyweight champion of the world?
Friggin' hell.
He beat Michael Moore.
And when did Michael Moore become the heavyweight champion of the world?
Hold on a second. How far you want to go back?
When he beat Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, how far do you want to go?
So the point that I'm making is this: is that irregardless of whatever belts that those fighters may have been holding at that particular time, Lennox Lewis became heavyweight champion by virtue of the fact that he beat Shannon Briggs. Yeah. Shannon Briggs became heavyweight champion. Wait, let me finish. Wait, no, that's not my opinion. Those are the facts.
Views.
All right, so when you happen to agree, but you happen to agree.
No.
But you have to agree.
No, I don't agree.
When he became a lineal champion, so I was citing out the lineage. Yeah.
Okay, but you happen to agree. You happen to agree. But you happen to agree.
I just know the lineage.
Yeah.
Okay, but you happen to agree, right?
I know the lineage. So
okay, but you also happen to agree.
Do you agree? Do you agree with my doctor's pronouncement?
I don't agree because George Foreman is a classic example of why the lineage becomes irrelevant. Yeah. Oh. Better yet.
Okay, so then if George Foreman,
I'm going to ask you a question now, Fight Doctor. Fight Doctor, it's your turn. When did Mike Tyson become heavyweight champion of the world?
When he beat Michael Spinks.
But he was already undisputed before he fought Spinks.
Undisputed? What the hell are you talking about? IBF, WBA, WBC? That means nothing.
Your viewpoint. You said
you're right. It's my viewpoint. Right, that's my view.
You said earlier the consensus decides who the lineal title is. Well, when Mike Tyson became undisputed champion, all the consensus, and if you go back and look at the records and read the press reviews and everything else, the consensus was that when Mike Tyson became undisputed champion, he was the champion. Not when he beat.
I'm sorry, but no, I was around during that time.
Which one is it? Which criteria?
Wait. First and foremost, wait. Hold on, wait. First and foremost, wait. Hold on a second, wait.
Form a new lineage.
Wait. First, I'll be more than happy to answer you. I've already answered that question. But now, listen. First and foremost, I was around when that fight happened. I watched that fight the night it was broadcast live. Okay. Mike Spinks was introduced. Wait, let me finish. Michael Spinks, let me finish. Because you're talking to an eyewitness. I was there. I saw that fight broadcast live.
So say that again. You were there, or you watched the fight live?
I was there to watch the fight live.
You was where?
Okay.
Where were you?
Fight?
I was at home. I watched the fight at home.
Attended the venue.
You watched the fight at home.
So I know. I wasn't in. I wasn't in. Right, I wasn't there, but I was there. Meaning I was around. I watched that fight the night it was broadcast live on HBO.
TV.
I saw that fight live.
Born in 1976. I was born in 1976. Rafi is older than me. We're
Hey,
both.
John, mind your language. Carry on.
All right, so on the night of the fight,
John, John, you went very clear and then you went muffled again.
All right, so now here are the facts. Okay, here are the facts.
Hold on a second. We're just doing a mic check. John,
Sorry, is that better now?
Okay, that's clear. That's the clear version. Okay,
version. So now here are the facts with regard to consensus. There was no consensus that Mike Tyson was the heavyweight champion. I'm sorry, but because on the night of the fight, Michael Spinks was announced as the heavyweight champion of the world. Period. Point blank. End of story. That's a fact. Okay. There was a considerable amount of the boxing public at that time who considered Michael Spinks to be the heavyweight champion. So this argument that Mike Tyson was the consensus heavyweight champion, that's nonsense, because it didn't happen that way. Mike Tyson. Listen. Well, you cannot agree with it, but I'm telling you what the facts of the matter are. The fact of the matter is Michael Spinks was announced as a heavyweight champion on the night of the fight. So if there was a consensus that Mike Tyson was a heavyweight champion,
question.
If there was a consensus that Mike Tyson was a heavyweight champion, then how in the hell is Michael Spinks announced as the heavyweight champion on the night they fought? That doesn't make sense. What are you talking about?
That question for you. I'm going to answer that question for you because promoters were involved in promoting a fight to sell a fight. Now, the question I've got for you is, who forms this consensus? Is it everybody in the world, or is it the press, or who forms this consensus?
That's a good question. It's the boxing public. Who sometimes
so how do you define the boxing public? Do you include the casual
the boxing public would be the fans. You would include the boxing public. So the fans, the boxing media, the people who work in the boxing in a professional capacity, all those people. And there was not a consensus among all of the boxing public that Mike Tyson was heavyweight champion. I'm sorry, but no.
Okay. Well, in times
again, if you go back, let me finish. If you go back and look at the Cyber Boxing Zone website, you'll see that Mike Tyson wins the heavyweight championship of the world from Michael Spinks.
What year was Cyber Zone Boxing website formed?
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
It's got a lot to do with it. Can you answer the question, please?
Because at the end of the
Can you answer the question, please?
I have no idea.
Can you answer the question, please?
I have no idea.
1992. What year did Spinks and Tyson fight?
88.
So they're not. Are you sure?
It was 88 or 89. I think it was 88. I think it was 88.
I fact checked you in the bit because I think it was 86. Anyway.
No, it was 88. Anyway. It was 1988.
All right. Well,
so Rafi, put it up on Boxrec. It was 1988.
Irrespective, let's just say for argument's sake, it was 1988. That's 4 years before 1992.
Okay, so
that's a retrospective designation.
So let me ask this question.
At the time.
You know the definition of retrospective.
You haven't allowed me to ask you my question about the who forms consensus.
1988, June the 27th, 1988.
Okay. So it was 4 years after the event. So my question to you is, Fight Doctor, when Jack Johnson was fighting, who were the boxing public, or who formed the consensus of who the champion was in that day and age?
You had a guy named Nat Fleischer was around during that time.
No, Nat Fleischer wasn't around then.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was. When he became champion. You're telling me that he was fighting for the Ring magazine, what is it, 1908? Because I believe Fleischer started his career after the First World War. I could be wrong. Either way. whether it's Nat Fleischer or not, whether it's Nat Fleischer or not. This is what it has to do with, because in days previously, the ones that you like to refer to, the days of Jack Johnson, it wasn't the boxing public that formed the consensus. It was the boxing press. They formed the consensus.
Sir.
So I put it to you that you have.
Wait, hold on. The boxing press makes up part of what is the boxing public. So what are you talking about? No. I'm not saying the boxing public formed the consensus in Jack Johnson's day. I'm saying the boxing press formed the consensus, not the boxing public, the press only. So there is no consistent measure at any stage in your argument as to how you identify who the world champion is. None. Okay.
I'll give you a consistent measure. The heavyweight champion is champion until he retires, and to start a new lineage, you need an undisputed champion. That's how you do it.
That's nonsense.
Why is it nonsense? Why is it? When did Jack Johnson become heavyweight champion of the world?
When he beat Marvin Hart.
No, he didn't. He beat Jim Jeffries.
Jeffries was retired. What are you talking about?
At the time, the boxing public believed, that Jack Johnson was not the heavyweight champion until he beat Jim Jeffries.
Wait. Okay.
Jack Johnson beat Jim Jeffries?
All right. So wait. Hold on a second.
Did Jack Johnson beat Jim Jeffries?
Wait a minute. Wait. Stop.
Did he?
Wait a minute. Wait. Let's go back to Jack Johnson, because I need to give you a history lesson as far as.
No, you don't.
Because you're not American.
I don't actually know what you're talking about.
Wait. Let me say. Wait. You need to stop right there. You need to stop right there, because you're not American, right?
So what?
So you can't tell me about the history of my country better than you can't tell me about the history of my country.
Why not?
Because it's my country.
Why not?
And I know more about the history of my country than you do, because it's my country.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Okay.
How do you know that fight?
Let me ask you this question. How many times have you been black in America?
0. What's that got to do with the history of America?
So then you don't know anything about black history in America. You know nothing about.
Who said anything? Who said anything about that?
Because you're not
We're
American.
talking about boxing history.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
Talking about boxing history.
Stop. Hold on a second.
Talking about boxing history and the lineal title.
Wait a minute. Stop. Because you don't know anything about you don't know anything about American history, and you don't know anything about. Let me finish.
Yes, I do fight, doctor.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Hold on a second. Wait. Let me finish.
All right, carry on.
You don't know anything about what it means to be African American in the United States, because you've never been African American, and you've never been African American in the United States of America. So you don't. So let me finish. Let me finish.
I'm just going to explain something to you.
Let me finish, because this is important. You don't know anything about what it means to be black in America, because you've never been black, and you've never been black in America. All right. Now, Jack Johnson. Hold on a second. Wait, but you're not African American. But you're not African American. So you don't know anything about being African in America. You don't know anything about it.
You don't know anything about being Jamaican.
You're right, because I'm not Jamaican, and I don't pretend to know anything about being Jamaican, because I'm not Jamaican. Okay.
But we were talking about the lineal championship of the world, not being black in America,
which was held by an African American.
Yes, Jack Johnson. During
the Jim Crow era in America. Now, tell me something about that. What do you know about being black in America during the Jim Crow era? You know nothing. You know nothing.
Excuse me. What year were you born in? What year were you born in, Fight Doctor?
I know something about being black in America.
Hold on, we're talking about Jim Crow laws now. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. What year were you born?
Listen.
Which year were you born? I have told you I know nothing about being African American. I have already said that to you.
Let me finish.
Got nothing to do with the lineal championship of the world.
Let me
but you seem to think it has.
Let me finish.
Let me tell you something.
Have you ever been given an eyewitness? Have you ever been given an eyewitness testimony to Jim Crow in America? Have you ever known anyone personally who lived through Jim Crow? Have you? No.
Have you?
Well, yes, I'm related to several people who lived through that.
Yeah, I can well believe that that's true, Fight Doctor. I'm happy to believe
I'm related.
However,
wait, hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
We were not talking about being African American.
Yes,
we were talking about the lineage of the heavyweight title,
which was held by an African American during Jim Crow, which you know nothing about. So don't sit here and pretend.
I know academically about Jim Crow,
but you don't know anything
academically about Jim Crow.
But you don't know anything about it.
Well, listen,
you have less
than a clue.
I'm not claiming to.
So then why are you talking about Jack Johnson?
What the hell are you talking about?
I'll tell you why I'm talking about Jack Johnson.
Because it's crazy.
I'll tell you why.
Look, because it's crazy to bring up. Listen, it's crazy. Let me finish. I'm answering the question.
I'm going
to answer the question.
I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
I'm going to answer your question because you asked me. You're not going to answer for me. I will answer the question. I am talking about Jack Johnson because he is a lineal heavyweight champion of the world.
Okay. So then let's talk about Jack Johnson. Let's talk about Jack Johnson.
I finished my answer to your question, so do not interrupt. We are talking about the lineage of the heavyweight championship of the world. I am pointing out that there are disputes in how you identify the lineal champion of the world. One of those disputes is how Jack Johnson attained that title. That is a dispute amongst historians.
Okay. Are you finished?
Yeah? No, all right. I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
Right. Let me know when you're finished.
Right?
Let me know when you're finished.
I'll tell you. I will tell you so it's clear. Yeah? This was a racially contentious issue at the time, but it has got nothing to do with this conversation. I am saying to you that historians themselves who discuss the lineal title cannot agree on lineages and how they were formed. And I am giving you examples of those disagreements. So whether he beat Sharkey or whether he beat Jim Jeffries to become lineal champion of the world, historians, not me, disagree. They disagree. They've written in books. They disagree on that.
Okay, are you finished?
So my point of bringing Jack Johnson into this discussion highlights the fact that no one can agree on how you define the lineal champion of the world. Better historians than you have tried to do so and failed.
So can you point out the historian who disagrees that Jack Johnson was the heavyweight champion of the world?
No, it's not that he was. No. That's not the question. That wasn't the question. That wasn't the question I asked. Can you point out the historian? Can you point out the historian who disagrees that Jack Johnson was a heavyweight champion of the world? Can you? But that's not the point I was making. So maybe you need to clean your ears out and listen to what's being said to you. But that is the question I'm asking. There aren't any historians who disagree on whether he was. They disagree on when he became that champion. Oh, I see. That is the point. No one actually disagrees. That I am making. No one actually disagrees that Jack Johnson was heavyweight champion of the world. No. So no one actually disagrees that such a thing as lineal heavyweight champion actually exists. Is that your argument? No. People do disagree that lineal championship exists, and the reason that they disagree, and one of the reasons is historians cannot form a consensus on how the lineage is formed, on how many lineages there are. Jack Johnson is a case in point on those disagreements, because some people hold he became world champion when he beat Sharkey, and some people hold it happened when he beat Jeffries. So who are the people? Example of the type of disputes that historians have over the lineal title. So who are the people who hold that Jack Johnson was never the heavyweight champion of the world?
Who
Well,
said
I
anybody?
haven't said that. I've already answered your question.
So my question.
I've already answered that question
so
once.
my question to you is.
No, I've answered it already, Fight Doctor. I'm going to ask you another question.
So wait, no, you haven't answered my question. You haven't answered my question. No, you have not. You have not answered my question.
I've answered it twice. I've said zero.
So,
I have said zero historians disagree that Jack Johnson was the champion of the world. That's
so you
the
haven't
third
answered my
time
follow-up question.
I have told you
haven't
that.
answered my follow-up question.
Follow-up.
Go on then.
Follow-up question. Go on with your follow-up question. Go on.
So my follow-up question is this: do you agree that that there is such a thing as a lineal championship?
No.
You don't agree?
No, I don't.
Okay.
And the reason I don't is because there's no consensus on the number of lineages when champions became the lineal champion. In the days of Jack Johnson, there was only a consensus champion. The whole reason that Nat Fleischer started the ring championship was because he was in disagreement about how the governing bodies at the time were identifying champions. And that didn't happen until the 1920s. In the day of Jack Johnson, there was no lineal champion of the world. There was a consensus champion of the world, which was formed by the boxing press, not the boxing public.
Okay, that's fine. I'll tell you what. Let's deal with your terminology. We'll use your terminology. We'll use the consensus heavyweight champion.
Hold on a second.
Not the lineal heavyweight champion.
No.
I'm fine with that. No, that's good. I'm fine with that.
No. Because we do have another topic to discuss. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the table with the final words on this particular topic, and we're going to start with the Fight Doctor.
I respect my esteemed colleague John Dealey, but he is in this particular instance talking in circles. The dog chasing his tail with regard to the whole business of lineal heavyweight championship. He doesn't want to acknowledge the lineal heavyweight championship, but he will acknowledge the consensus heavyweight championship, which is the same thing. Okay, in essence.
Really.
And that's fine. I have no problem because at the end of the day, whether we are talking about the lineal heavyweight championship or the consensus heavyweight championship, Anthony Joshua has been and is not either.
Okay, I'm just going to come back to the fight. That's my final words now.
Yeah.
I'm not going around in circles because I am recounting to you what happened in those particular eras. I don't believe in a consensus champion. I'm telling you what happened in Jack Johnson's day. The lineal title and the history of it can be tracked in all sorts of different places in all sorts of different ways. It becomes the whole history of this issue is just murky and difficult to define. That is why I don't recognize the lineal title, because there's no clear-cut, definite answer, which is what the Fight Doctor is trying to make out like there is. That is my point. That is the whole point. Often, when you have a group of historians retrospectively trying to form an opinion and a consensus about things, they disagree. And it's opinion, not fact. And you're trying to represent these opinions as facts. And that's what I am arguing against.
Yes. Okay, so, and I think the key term here is, where is it? All these shenanigans by the Fight Doctor with the sole purpose and intention to discredit Anthony Joshua. I find the Fight Doctor, I find that your linguistics, your chasing your tail, your spinning of narratives has one sole purpose and objective, my dear fellow. And that
Wait,
is...
hold on a second.
Hold on. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Any argument that I make with regard to Anthony Joshua is equally applicable.
You must observe parliamentary procedure, sir. This is the roundup. This is the roundup of this particular topic. We got something we got to touch on before we go. And so I was very clear and specific when I said final words. And you had your final word. John Daly had his final word. And now I will have my final word. And as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by the fight doctor. I find the fight doctor that all these shenanigans, all these switching of narratives has one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to discredit Anthony Joshua. You choose to overlook the failings of your man over there, Deontay, the bronze twerker Wilder, and instead you focus on Anthony Joshua and you try to discredit him at every turn. But I find your argument, my dear fellow, unconvincing, and I will tell you why. Anthony Joshua has more top 10 wins in recent years than both your bronze twerker and Tyson Fury combined. Anthony Joshua achieved championship status at a far earlier point in his career. I think he became champion at 16 fights. When Anthony Joshua was on his 16th fight, when the bronze bomber there took him, I think, 30 odd fights to ascend to championship level. Anthony Joshua did it in half of the time and has higher ranked opponents than both Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. There's more I could say, but I think we've had a full and comprehensive, thorough. We bashed this line, and I don't even know where this line was. It's got to a point where I can't even remember what the original topic was. I guess I'll have to replay the tape. But I find that
Anthony Joshua cheerleading.
I find no. I'm just stating the facts. I'm just stating the facts. I'm just stating the.
This is from the guy that came in here and said Luis Ortiz was the second heaviest country in the heavyweight division.
Wait. I said
cheerleading for Deontay Wilder.
I said
I don't know what is. I don't know if that isn't.
And Dillian Whyte is
some twerking. Look, if that type of twerking gets you excited, that's okay with me.
Hey, that's okay, bro.
Yeah, and Dillian Whyte is just joking. He's just playing. He's not serious.
Oh, that was where we started. Okay, so Dillian Whyte.
Maybe he is. Maybe he is. Until the fight is fully signed.
You say Dillian Whyte is just joking and playing, yet he has consistently fought a higher level opponents than your boy over there, Deontay Wilder.
Listen, I hope that
Dillian Whyte's resume, take out Tyson Fury, and Dillian Whyte's resume urinates and defecates all over the bronze.
If we do a wins only resume, which is the fight that he's very fond of, Dillian Whyte's resume is better than Deontay Wilder's resume.
Yeah, I like that. So the man you disparaging, the man you are disparaging has a superior resume when it comes to wins only than the bronze.
Yeah, your resume doesn't get in the ring and fight for you now, does it?
That's what's that got to do with the price of tea in China? So listen,
I'll put you this way. I hope that Dillian Whyte isn't just playing. I hope he's not just talking out of the side of his mouth. I hope that he's actually sincere.
What has given you any
Dillian Whyte
he's playing when he consistently fights top ranked opponents? Consistently.
Okay, that's fine. Listen, I hope that he's serious. I hope that he's sincere in his call out of Luis Ortiz, because nothing would make me happier than to see Luis Ortiz put Dillian Whyte flat on his fat back. Okay, ribs, pork loin, ham hocks, the whole 9 yards, right on his back. Okay.
Well, like I said, the
And I'm sure
no, you don't come in with no, I'm sure when I'm coming in. I waited till you finish. You can damn well do the same damn thing. Parliamentary procedure. Like I said, Dillian Whyte's win. You like to go off wins. Dillian Whyte wins are superior, vastly superior to the bronze twerker. Okay, so with that said, we have to. I guess the topic there which you diverted very successfully. The fight doctor was Dillian Whyte and Luis Ortiz. So I guess we have to finish it. We started it, so we're gonna finish it with a roundup of views, and it's not gonna be no back and forth. It's got to be John and the fight doctor should finish this debate on EJ's or what? What the hell are you talking about? You know where you are. This is Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Why would this be somewhere else? Let me just state this clear. Let me make this very clear to people. Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. That is where you are. Yeah? That's where you are. That's where the conversation is taking place. That's what we do over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio.
Listen, real quick.
How the hell are you talking about going somewhere else? No, it's right here.
I will be more than happy on this channel to have the debate regarding when Vladimir Klitschko won the lineal championship.
The debate carry on.
And Jack Johnson, wherever debate we need to have there. I'd be more than happy to have that debate right here. No problem.
Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Second to none.
Where we cheerlead for Anthony Joshua.
Second to none. You know what I mean? That's where you are. I don't want to hear no foolishness about this
Fight
and
doctor.
that going over here, going over there. I don't hear no crap.
Fight doctor, did you listen to the last time I was on the show, Rafi? Rafi said he's edging Tyson Fury to beat Anthony Joshua.
Well, that will be a first.
That was on Monday's show.
I missed Monday's show, unfortunately. I meant to be here.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have been here.
Repeat what you just said.
So go back and listen to it. It's available. So go back and listen.
Yeah.
We got EJ in the house.
Okay, but that does not in any way.
I'm going to go to EJ in a second, but hold on. Repeat.
But that does not.
Repeat. Doctor, please. Repeat what you just said, John. I kind of missed it, but I know what you're saying. But
just to be very clear, just in case anybody isn't sure, Fight Doctor is accusing Rafi of cheerleading for Anthony Joshua. On Monday's show, when we reviewed AJ's performance and the potential fight against Tyson Fury, Rafi is on record as saying he is edging Tyson Fury to win that fight.
Okay, that
doesn't sound like cheerleading to me.
That doesn't detract from
cheerleading to me. And also, if you did your facts and your studies and your checks, you know that my favorite heavyweight of recent times is actually a nemesis of Anthony Joshua. He goes by the name of Lennox Claudius Lewis. Fight doctor. Say what you're saying.
How is Anthony Joshua and Lennox Lewis, how are they nemesis when they never competed in the same era?
Is the nemesis in terms of the criticism, the storm of criticism leveled upon him by Lennox? Well,
the first question I would ask is any of the criticism legitimate?
I can't even remember what he said, but there's a critical storm. But anyway, EJ Boxing has been lurking and listening while he's been eating his what have you been eating, EJ? What did you have for lunch?
Why would I be eating, Rafi? Second to none. There's only knows. Listen, EJ, he knows. Whoever said that knows. Yeah, bring it to EJ. I think he was trying to make joke, but
He's a
whoever,
cheeky fella.
Yeah, he being cheeky.
Why the hell would I be having a debate over here and then
he knows it's rough and rugged? Over here is too. Over here, Rafi's got complete control over my style. It's probably a bit too wild. They'll be up and down, but it don't matter where it is. Wherever they debating, it's cool. Rafi, you can do a Rafi's, whatever. But
what do you mean? It's Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Why is a guy trying to come to me and say you should take it somewhere else?
Because I'm just putting out. Maybe he thinks maybe in my one he feels like say it'd be more vicious. Because Rafi, to be fair, you make sure that everything's controlled. Maybe he wants it to be a bit wild and rugged, but you know what I mean. That's it. What are you guys talking about anyway? What are you guys talking about?
It was pretty rugged.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I need to go back on it.
It was rugged and raw.
You know what?
Rugged and raw.
And you know what?
Listen back. Rafi's gonna put the whole show back. I know you got time to listen back to it. You can listen. I will.
But I'd probably put it on my hate report as well. Probably that is. I'll probably put it on my hate report.
There's no hate. There's no real hate going on.
That's hate report.
I'm just saying I don't recognize the lineal title because there's too many disagreements over it.
Oh, is that what you're arguing? What's Fight Doctor saying?
Yeah, and Fight Doctor's just trying to say that his version of the lineal is fact. And I'm saying you can't have a fact on historical opinion. That's my position.
Okay, so you don't recognize the lineal title, but you recognize the consensus title.
No, right? I don't. No, I don't.
Hold on. We ain't gonna go over this shit again. Hold on.
But just because it's
circular arguments.
But Rafi, just because the Fight Doctor struggles to keep along, I'm gonna make it very clear to him.
All right.
What I said was, in the time of Jack Johnson, there was a consensus champion, and the consensus was formed by the boxing press. I'm not saying that's my measure of the world championship. I'm trying to explain historical context of the Fight Doctor and what was happening at the time.
Okay, and so then when I asked the question, or you posed that the last
you didn't listen because that was my answer. You didn't listen.
You didn't let me finish. May I finish, please? Now, it was you who said that the last heavyweight champion of the world, the last legitimate heavyweight champion of the world, and please correct me if I'm wrong.
You are
the
wrong.
The last legitimate heavyweight champion of the world was Lennox Lewis. Is that or is that not?
No, that isn't what I said. I said by Fight Doctor's measure, the last champion of the world was Lennox Lewis.
All right,
not legitimate, not my opinion, by your measure. Your criteria.
All right, understood. All right. So then let me pose the question to you, sir. Who do you consider to be the rightful and legitimate heavyweight champion of the world?
And
more importantly,
currently the heavyweight world championship is split. It's split across 4 belts, 3 in the possession of Anthony Joshua and 1 in possession of Tyson Fury.
So I will ask again. In your opinion, who is the rightful and legitimate heavyweight?
This is a circular argument, and it's a semantic argument.
Wait, how is that a semantic argument? It's a simple question.
Because I know what you're going to say next.
If I ask you, who's the president of the United States?
I've answered your question.
You feel that if you
I've answered your question, and you're going to go on to use semantics to try and explain that there's only one world, because I've heard you do it countless times.
Well, is there more than one world?
And then you're going to use that semantic argument to justify your position that Tyson Fury is the lineal champion of the world.
All right, so I have a question.
I don't agree with you. That's your opinion. Opinions are not facts.
Okay, so EJ, can I ask you a question?
Check it in Webster's dictionary if you wish.
Okay, so EJ, can I ask you a question, sir?
Yes, sir.
Before we move on to that, okay, let me address OBZ. OBZ said, "I apologize. I accept your apology." And let me be clear on what I was saying when you made the suggestion there should be, maybe take it here, maybe take it here, maybe take it here, maybe take it here, maybe take it there. This is Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Yeah, this is the friggin' place as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, second to none. Yeah?
Second to none, where we cheerlead for Anthony Joshua. Yes, indeed.
Oh no,
John Daly just told you. John Daly just told you. I have Tyson Fury as a favorite in the Anthony Joshua fight. I have stated it previously multiple times.
What's your question?
And my favorite heavyweight of recent times is Lennox, Claudius, Lewis, not Anthony Joshua. Just to be clear. And no, I have a question. I haven't finished. And furthermore, I'm not saying that this is the best channel in the world. It's just best to me. Everybody's got their place. Everybody's got their restaurant. It's like a restaurant. The way I cook, no other motherfucker in the game does it like me. Yeah. And next man has his shit. I got my shit. EJ's got his shit. Next man has their shit. Everybody's got their shit. Yeah. So for me, for somebody to come over here and say, hey, maybe you should finish this off elsewhere. Get the out of here. Not you, OBZ, since you clarified your position. Okay, so I don't want to hear no shit from nobody at any time trying to disparage my shit. But the misunderstanding has now been clarified.
Okay. So EJ,
ask your question to EJ, and then we're gonna move on because I'm not down with this prolonged circular shiznix.
Okay, so EJ, I actually have a couple of questions for you, EJ. If you would be so kind to indulge me, please.
Carry on.
So, EJ, who is the president?
One-word answers. Go ahead.
So, who is the president of the United States
right now?
Yes, right now.
Officially, right? I know who's been elected president-elect right now. It's Biden, isn't it?
Yes. But Biden hasn't been sworn in yet. So right now, the president of the United States is Donald Trump, correct?
Wait. Well, if the other guy, he hasn't been sworn in officially, yeah. So let's say officially Donald Trump. Officially right now, Donald Trump, yeah.
So how many countries in the world are called the United States of America?
There's only one.
So there's only one country in the world known as the United States of America, right?
That's right.
And the United States of America can only have one president at a time.
That's what I heard. Yep, that's one president.
Yeah. So then that president, he serves for a predetermined amount of time. Mm-hmm. And after that predetermined amount of time, a new president is elected who takes the place of the old president. Am I correct?
That's
right.
How it works? Yeah, that's how it works.
During this process, the facts never change that A, there's only one country known as the United States, and B, there's only one president of the United States at a time. Is that or is that not correct?
That's correct.
Okay. We only live in one world, so you can't have multiple champions of one world. Can you?
Shit. Carry on.
Okay, so then in using that logic, we can have multiple presidents of one United States, and we can have multiple countries at the same time.
The United States is a country. We are talking about the world. How could you get something so simple and elementary?
Well, apparently, if we can have,
you get something so simple and elementary as a country.
So apparently, if we can have
matches to the same level that I'm predicting to the future what fight is going to say. I just said about a few minutes ago, I'm not going to entertain your circular argument about one world. I'm happy to go on to this.
Yeah, but I think he was addressing me though. I think he was still talking to me. Other people.
Carry on.
He's still asking me a question. Wrap it up, Factor. Wrap it up.
Put a ball on it.
So EJ, we only live in one world, right?
Yeah.
And going by using simple logic, if we only live in one world, then it stands to reason that we can only have one champion of said one world at a time.
Well, listen to this, yeah? Yeah, I agree with that. But as they put other belts in, yeah, they give other guys contenders to that championship. But yeah, they should only be the number one. But to get to that point, Yeah, we have to get to a consensus that they have to, like the presidents when they vie for the presidentships. There's a process where they obviously have to break down to election to two. There's only two. So right now we have Anthony Joshua, we have Deontay Wilder, right? So when they collide each other, then there will be only one, and then there's no disputing. So what's there? That's what it is. That's what it is right now.
I'm in 100% agreement.
Because you mentioned the presidency process, right? So as we know, there's candidates, right? So these two, so right now there is only one world that thing stands, but right now there's candidates for that number one slot, and right now they're in the process of wrapping that bow up. And when the candidates get to that fight, have that fight, then there'll be one president, there'll be one champion, and that's it. There's no more than other worlds. There's only one. So until that point, then you can favor or have an opinion who you think is number one. But until they get to that consensus, like when Lennox Lewis did it, right? Then there will be only one. So right now it's vacant.
Thank you for clearing up the confusion, sir. I appreciate you. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you.
What was the confusion?
The confusion is over the status of Anthony Joshua. There are a contingent of people who think
just switched. I've noticed you switched. You were saying it was Tyson Fury, and now you're saying EJ's saying it's undecided, and now you've congratulated EJ on saying it's undecided. Where that is a switch to your previous position.
No, sir. It is not.
You switched. Said it was Tyson Fury. Said Tyson Fury was the Don. And now EJ said there ain't no done right now.
So John Dealey. Let me finish, please. Now, John Dealey accurately pointed out earlier that Tyson Fury went into retirement after he beat Vladimir Klitschko. Now, according to the rules, if a heavyweight champion, a reigning heavyweight champion, if he retires, the title becomes vacant. Now, that's true. So if we're going to use the logic that Tyson Fury, after having beat Vladimir Klitschko, retired, that makes the title vacant. And as such, in order to fill the vacancy, the two top heavyweights have to fight and have to fight.
You've switched. You've switched. You were saying Tyson Fury was the man. He was the man. There's only one heavyweight champion, and his name is Tyson Fury. Now you're saying there ain't no champion because it's got to be decided. You agreeing with what EJ said?
Excuse me. Both arguments are correct. And I'd be more than happy to explain why.
Go ahead.
Now, there is historical precedent for a heavyweight champion to take off multiple years and then come back after having been off for years and defend the title. And I give you an example when Jack Dempsey lost to Gene Tunney. Gene Tunney.
Yeah, Gene Tunney.
Now, when Jack Dempsey lost to Gene Tunney, Jack Dempsey had been off for 3 years. Okay? But during that time he was off, he never lost the designation as being the heavyweight champion, which is how he was able to lose the title to Gene Tunney after having been off for 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, those are facts. That's not what I say. Those are the facts. Go research for yourself. Now, if indeed Tyson Fury did win the lineal championship from Vladimir Klitschko, and if we argue that he did not retire, then he is still the heavyweight champion of the world. However, if he did indeed retire after having beat Vladimir Klitschko, then by the rules, the title becomes vacant, and to fill the vacancy, top two heavyweights must fight. So either argument is correct.
Okay.
Now, if I'm wrong,
hold on a second. Okay, I said okay. Right. So I want to get something. I want to clap before we move on because that's the end of that. You switched it up. You switched it up at the 11th hour. You switched. Okay, because you weren't saying that earlier. Okay, so but I want to get onto this. I want some clarification. Boxing loser stars. Okay, so I want you to clarify this comment. Right. US people call Brits sir, then go on to it. Oh, I get you. Okay, I got you. The old switcheroo. What are you doing?
Well, I was just going to point out that the comment about sir, that's nonsense. I call everybody sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I think we can safely wrap up this thing, but I'm going to get back to the original point, which you so adeptly sidestepped, the fight doctor. Okay, so we're going to get back to the original point, and it's going to be kind of bullet point. We ain't going to no long circular journeys, although I can't say I did not enjoy the shenanigans. But okay, so we're going to get to the point and stick on the point. So Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz. It has been reported, widely reported, that Luis Ortiz has accepted Dillian Whyte's challenge offer. Call it what you will. I'm gonna go to EJ Boxing on that one first. But EJ, before we go to that, you came in at the exact point that OBA and I had a little discussion there.
Abs, yeah.
Is there something that you want to add on to that? I don't want to.
No. That's cool. Abs is cool, man. Abs is cool. No, I'm cool. No.
I don't want to deprive, because you came in at that exact point, so I don't want to deprive you of your opportunity to respond if there's something that.
No, I responded earlier on to it. So I know Abs is playing around in it. I don't think he mean that by it, but that was my thing to it. In regards to the Ortiz and thing, I talked to Zab, and he said there's going to be an announcement today, tomorrow, or the day after. In regards, actually later on tonight, on regards to that. So I'm officially thinking that they're probably going to go forward with the Ortiz fight. I'm thinking, I'm not 100%, but I'm like 50-60% that they're gonna take that fight. If they've accepted the offer, that means that obviously Dillian Whyte's people put an offer to him. So what we're hearing is he's accepted the offer. So then we're going to get an announcement. And that's what I was talking to Xavier, and I said to him, as soon as that announcement's done, I want an interview on his show. He said, yeah, fine. So I get an interview. He'll probably do his rounds. So you'll probably get Rafi, you'll probably get him as well. So so let's assume. So let's
and we'll get him on here.
Yeah. So let's assume that's gone down. That right there is really good for boxing, that one there, because it keeps Dillian busy, and it shows that Dillian is willing, right? Even in this circumstance after losing Povetkin, because Povetkin's playing games, right? I told Zab he was playing games. He didn't have Corona, so he's full of shit. What he's done is that saying that they got Corona and then wait it out because they want to fight the winner. Because remember, if you've won the number one contendership, you're in line for a multi-million-dollar payday, right? So why do you need to fight Dillian and lose that, right? So their whole thing is we can keep saying we're ill and keep saying we got Corona and send proof. We haven't got no proof for that. And Dillian has to sit there on the pine waiting around where he gets inactive. So Dillian's like, well, I can't wait around for that. Let me fight. I need to fight another top heavyweight, right? So the Ortiz one is perfect. Ortiz has been knocked out twice. Dillian has obviously been knocked out, but Dillian's like, well, boy, you know what I mean? It's timing. Everything's about timing. He's not going to be hard to hit. It's a good fight for boxing, and you know, most people will probably look at it and say, you know what, Ortiz got a chance, but like the way I see Ortiz been knocked out twice, I don't know if he's in a great saying. Dillian's been knocked out as well, so it's going to be a slapdown bang affair, a 50-50 fight if you want to call it that, and it's great for boxing. So as a fight fan, I look at that and I look at Dillian and say to myself, you know what, that's what's up, that this guy is challenging himself, win or lose, no one can tell Dillian nothing. So I'm happy if that fight goes ahead. Yeah.
Yes. What's going in the chat here? I'm going to get to the chat before I get to the fight doctor for his analysis. What's going on here? James Jameson says, Doctor, do you want to win your money back? Whyte versus Dino Ortiz. You're taking Dino Ortiz, fight doctor. Are you taking the fight? Are you taking Dino Ortiz? Because James Jameson is up for another super chat bet. Are you down with the program? Are you backing your man Dino Ortiz, the fight doctor?
I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I got Ortiz in the fight. I will be more than happy to take his money.
You're happy to go with a super chat bet? Okay, super chat bet has done. So are you agreeing to the 20 British pound super chat bet?
20 British pounds, no problem.
Okay. So, and you are picking Dinosaurus Ortiz, is that correct?
Whatever you want to call him. You want to call him Dinosaur, you want to call him Methuselah, you want to call whatever, it doesn't matter. I got Old man Ortiz.
Okay, super chat bet has been confirmed right here on Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Okay, so your what's this? XXX, the one and only XX1. Okay, well, it looks like you had a lot of X's and a lot of ones and O's, and maybe that's because maybe you're not the only one though. That's why you got so many X's in there. Okay, yes, it is agreed. It is done. Okay, so over to you, Fight Doctor. I got White. So easy, Mo Night. Okay, so let's get that fight on and let's get the super chat bet on. Okay, so the Fight Doctor, your analysis of the Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz fight.
I hope this fight gets made because I'm looking forward to Ortiz knocking out Dillian Whyte for the second time. Period.
Knocking him out for the second time. You know that Dillian Whyte's been knocked out more than one time.
Okay, my apologies. Then for the third or fourth time, how many times he's been knocked out? I'm looking forward to him getting knocked out again. Okay.
Did you see his fight with Anthony Joshua?
I did not see the Dillian Whyte Anthony Joshua fight. No, I did not. At least I didn't see the whole fight.
Okay. You didn't see the end either, where he got knocked out. No problem. Okay, my assessment, virtual handshake. Doctor, you are on, buddy. You are on. Okay, so what's this say? Boxing Finesse say, salute Rafi, brother. At work listening. Big fight tonight. Could we see a huge upset tonight? I don't think so. Neither do I. I got, anyway, talked about that earlier on, so people can go back earlier on in the chat to find out the pick on that. So the Fight Doctor, what is your assessment? Oh, did you give me your assessment? Have you said your assessment?
No. So I think, I think that it's a tall order for Canelo, but I think he's slick enough. I think he is sound enough to get on the inside and wreck Callum Smith's body. So, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Alvarez have some trouble and potentially possibly even lose. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked at a Alvarez loss. But my expectation is that Alvarez would win by either decision or possibly late stoppage.
Okay, Alvarez by decision or late stoppage. EJ Boxing. Canelo Alvarez versus Callum Smith.
Yeah. Like I've done a breakdown everywhere, all over YouTube and wherever, as much as I can in that one. Yeah, and the funny thing about it, I've been putting down Callum Smith for the longest. He ain't fought the best, and even in the World Boxing Series, he got the luck of the draw, and he just beat a one-armed George Groves. I struggle with John Ryder.
I'll be back in 30 seconds. 1 minute. Okay, carry on.
All right, yeah, struggle with John Ryder. So, but I reckon Canelo Alvarez without Oscar De La Hoya at the helm, steering him, guiding his career. Canelo Alvarez, who was wearing a knee brace when he was faced Triple G. I don't know how his knee is. Canelo Alvarez was 5'8" or 5'7" when he looked 5'7" to me. When I met him in London, well, I didn't meet him. I saw him at the press conference, and I still knew him. Going against Callum Smith, who's 6'3" with mass reach advantage. They're the same age. Canelo hasn't fought a guy around the same age for a while as well. So, and there's no rehydration clause. Callum could win the fight. He could win the fight. Yeah, and you know what? I tip it to him. I tip it Callum by points now. Everyone's looking at John Ryder fight. I was watching it. I was like, John Ryder was doing what he wanted with Callum. In, out, doing what he wanted with him. And I was saying, so well, if John Ryder can do that, couldn't Canelo do the same thing? Well, it would be if Callum Smith learned from the John Ryder fight and learned better how to keep him off. He was throwing too many wide shots in that fight. So from Canelo Alvarez's perspective, it's like, boy, we could beat him. Look how he struggled against this guy, and I'm much better than John Ryder. The only thing is, it's the work rate. The thing is, John Ryder throws more punches than Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is a power puncher, and he doesn't like to throw that many punches around. So if he starts throwing punches, he'll blow himself out if he starts missing, which I think he will. If Callum like ties him up, like jabs him, right hand jab, right hand left hook, whatever, uppercut, and then ties him up straight away, leans on him like Vladimir used to do, I think he can win the fight. So they're the strategies I would like Callum to adapt, but can he do it? We'll find out. I'll pick Callum on points, a close points decision for the upset, maybe because I'm UK, whatever, but I could see it's hard for me personally as a boxing guy when I see someone with height and reach advantages over a guy just to throw it away. I just can't do it. Like, even if I look at the guy and say, well, obviously he has a better skill set than Callum, obviously, but I can't throw away, so I picked Callum. Go ahead, John Dealey, your turn. And you haven't give us your take on Dillian Whyte and Ortiz. Yeah. And that one first, and the other one, Callum Smith after.
Okay, my take on that is I'm skeptical about it until it gets signed, because Dillian set him an offer for $2 million to fight at the O2, to headline at the O2, and he turned it down to fight on the undercard of Tyson Fury. Wilder won.
Yeah.
So when it gets signed, I'll get excited about who I think could win. On the face of it, the best knockout I've ever seen from Luis Ortiz was an uppercut. Dillian has got to do something about his footwork when he's close in and his defense of the uppercut. But Ortiz has got to land it. So I don't know how that fight will go. It'd be a good fight. I'd like it if it happened.
Yes.
So that's Luis Ortiz, Dillian Whyte. I did say earlier, I'm going Canelo on points. I get what EJ's saying, but I've seen in nearly all of his fights, Callum give up his height. And I don't think Joe can train a fighter in the skill set to utilize his
You're breaking up, John.
Height advantage and his reach advantage. All his fighters tuck up and just don't for a second. I'm in the car.
Yeah. Okay. So, we actually broke that down earlier. We actually broke down the Canelo thing earlier, EJ. So yeah, we did that with that. My assessment is Canelo by body shot stoppage, hook to the body, somewhere in between the 7th and the 10th round. That's Canelo by body shot stoppage, somewhere in between the 7th and the 10th round. So that's how I see that one playing out. John Dealey's back.
Yeah, I'm seeing Canelo on points because I haven't really. I think Callum can hold a shot. He's been in with some big punches. Canelo might hurt him, but I'm not sure he can stop him. And I've seen Callum on the ropes tucking up too many times. If he tries to do that against Canelo, he's fish food.
Fish food. Oh, damn. I lost my place. I lost my position. I lost my place. Damn it. Okay, so I think with that, we've pretty much damn well wrapped it up. Everybody's got their opinions in. How long we've been going? Probably like about in excess of 3 hours.
Rafi, what's with the Holly Holm thing on the screen?
The Holly Holm thing is that we were talking about what's her name? Clarissa Shields going over to MMA, and we started off with her being in a video with Holly Holm and the karate hottie Michelle Waterson. She's on the left, Holly Holm on the right. So there's a picture of them As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Can I go to that? No, I can't find it.
No, I've seen it. I've seen the picture.
But it starts in the beginning. It's them dancing, and so that confirms to me that what's her name?
Clarissa Shields.
Clarissa Shields. That confirms to me that Clarissa Shields is indeed training down there at John Winklejohn's place down there in Albuquerque.
Yeah, New Mexico. John. Yeah, Greg Jackson. Yeah, down in
that's it. Greg Jackson and John Winklejohn's gym in Albuquerque. That's the confirmation.
Yeah.
And so we stuck with the Holly Holm theme, highly visually entertaining. So that's why we stuck with the Holly Holm theme. I am a fan. I'm a fan of Holly Holm's accomplishments. So that.
Well, she was more learning from. Yeah, she was learning from him, but she was up there training with John Jones, in it. She was learning from him and Holly Holmes and that. So I mean, I think she's just trying something. I don't think she's crossing over though, but she's just trying. She's trying to see how the sport, because she's young. She's just trying it out, but until she gets it a title defense. But I wouldn't like, because the way things are going on with the UFC, they've been sued. You know, they've been sued a lot. Have you seen? I don't know if you know about that, right? They've got a lawsuit with Kong Lee and about 12 or 20 other MMA fighters that when they got that Reebok deal, they closed them out and stopped their earnings. So the people at the top, they can get more money. The people down there couldn't get that money. But before the UFC put the Reebok deal in, they could have, like boxing. You see, like Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao can be with Motorola. He could be with Nike. You can have many
their own deals. They have their own.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And you brought in the Reebok, then they couldn't have their own deals anymore.
Exactly. So what they
lost money, lost big money.
So what they're suing the UFC particularly for monopolizing their sport, and it's actually got credence that the fact that they're gonna have to settle it, right? Which if they settle it will make the UFC bankrupt, or they have to try and win it in court. And either way, it doesn't look good that D-Styles was breaking it down. So the judges awarded that the court can go to the Supreme Court. So we look forward to that. So it's not a good idea for the UFC and Dana White at the minute and the MMA thing. You know what I mean? So. It wasn't a good move for that dude. It's like, that's why people shouldn't really want anyone to take over boxing like that. Eddie Hearn and Dazn, because I bought another thing as well. I bought Dazn UK because £1.99. I wasn't gonna buy it, but Lady Shan convinced me, kind of thing. So it's only £1.99 for a month.
I bought you on the first day it came out.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, I just bought it yesterday, right? So I bought it yesterday, and I watched the Triple G fight. I fell asleep on it. I watched it in the morning, but I think to myself, it's only £1.99. I'm a boxing fan. Whatever, I'm gonna see the calendar. I could live stream it for free. But they've got other content on the thing, so I did it. But this is the thing, right? It's okay now.
How did you enjoy the Triple G fight?
Oh yeah, it was okay. I expect him to win. It wasn't a competition. I don't know how they have him 21 defenses when the other day he lost against Canelo. But apparently the IBF belt wasn't on the line. But it's the thing, right? If you lose. Like, you lose, innit? Like, you can't be. That's a technical thing there. Like, because you didn't put that belt on the line, but you've had 21 straight defenses. That's not right, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? You lost. You just lost. Anyway, yeah. Now I'm getting back into the monopoly.
No way that's breaking the record.
Nah, no. Wait. You see, the thing is, it's not undisputed, right? It's just a belt. Like Bernard Hopkins had thing. So I don't think. Technically, to me, he said, with that defense, they beat Bernard Hopkins' record. It goes, nah, Bernard Hopkins didn't have no losses in between. You know what I mean? So that people, when people saying these sort of things, he didn't lose in that stretch when he had that belt. The only time he lost was Jermaine Taylor. That was it. He never lost all the way through that. He had a couple of no contests with Rob Allen and stuff like that, but he never actually lost the belt. But what I'm saying is this, right? This is why I don't want one person monopolizing the sport. MMA used to have a boxing community like what we have here. We have a boxing community. It's thriving. It's everything. I used to listen to the MMA boxing community. When Dana White took over, he flagged and made sure he took down all them voices from the MMA community, right? Because they were obviously had content and they were doing post fights and they were obviously saying, they disagree with Damon White. And he made sure they were all gone until there was only one voice, and there's Errol Hawani and these other guys. And that's why MMA, they have these kind of controlled people to talk out. So when people ask for someone to take over boxing and control boxing, that's never a good idea. The Zone, with this live stream thing that I've paid for, now imagine this year, right? they make everyone pays for that thing. Next, the money it goes up. Then when we try to live stream, we can't live stream no more. So my whole thing is with the networks like Sky Sports, Showtime, PPC, they're networks, and because they're networks, there's leaks where we can live stream. But with Dazn, because it's a live stream app, they can block us on thinging it. So I thought, I'll just buy it's only $1.99, but this is how they draw you in. So eventually they monopolize the sport and they start taking over the sport to the point where us as consumers, they control us and our voices get muted, because that's happening in the press conferences. It seems to me when in Matchroom and Frank Warren press conferences, they're kind of blocking the YouTubers from coming to the press conferences because they don't want our voices there no more. You know what I mean? When before it was like, boxing's wide open, but some of them do, and then some of them don't, unless you're saying the right thing. So when some YouTubers go there, they can't really voice their opinion. When I used to go there, I was doing my whole thing, but they check your channel and they could say, there's certain people like, oh, you said something, you no longer come to the press conferences. So this thing actually goes on behind closed doors. So I'm not in no favor of no one person running our sport. Dazn has it right now, but really Dazn is just using Sky. I mean, if everyone goes and does Dazn, why do I need to even have Sky subscription? You know what I'm trying to say to you? So, and Eddie Hearn's pushing. I don't understand how Sky is actually letting that happen, where you're letting Eddie, who is part of Matchroom, letting him come with another company and undermining Sky. I don't think no one's really addressing that. It's like, what are you really trying to do? I mean, they're not even from England; they're from Canada. So I don't understand in that sort of thing.
It's registered in England. It's a registered company.
Yeah. They've got a thing, but the thing is, Sky is the natural broadcaster. So what you're trying to say is people who haven't got Dazn like normal people, then how can they watch the boxing? It's like you're making it harder and harder to watch a sport.
Sky did the same thing though, didn't they? I mean, when it went from terrestrial to Sky, it's the same. It's the same. I think what's going to happen? I think what's going to happen is that they're going to be sharing. They're going to be sharing fights. Sky going to get. They're only going to get Sky some, and the ultimate goal is that they're going to share up the cake, so more money goes around for more people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying a bad thing. I'm just saying that's the way it is. John, I hear you, John.
EJ, when ITV used to have Fight Night, 17.5 million people watched Ben and Eubank fight each other.
Exactly.
This process happened to British boxing when Sky came out.
Yeah.
And Sky ended up rebuilding it back to where they've got it to now.
Yes, so I agree.
It's just changed.
It's
just changed because Dazn won't have a monopoly on the apps because there's the ESPN app. So
but listen to this, right?
They're streaming. They've got a streaming service. Bob puts his boxing on a streaming service as well. So I think that's more just about how people consume their media. I know. I agree with you. Competition for Dazn. I think there'll be competition. So the worst case scenario highlighting.
We still got boxing on Channel 5. I don't know if you watched the fight between Craig Richards and I can't remember the guy. That was a great. That was a great fight. Yes, that was a great fight. So Mick Hennessy is like really and truly the way I look at it is right. Boxing. All right, when they moved to Sky, they just made it harder for people to like. I bought Sky, right, and when Mike Tyson was there, because I remember when Sky came all the way in the 80s. Like everyone, most people in households they bought Sky. I mean, it was to me, it was rich people bought Sky. Then they made it. That's when it first came over. Then obviously they made the prices lower. They made it lower, and everyone started getting now. So most people in houses they have Sky terrestrial TV. But what I'm saying is that. The way I look at certain things, I'm not in no favor of the monopoly of sport. And people say, "Oh, they just do UFC model, UFC." The UFC is so controlled, it's ridiculous. Like I said, MMA never used to be like that. It was like the wild, wild west. Then when it comes in, and this is why you got 20 or 30 MMA fighters saying, well, this guy's killed my livelihood. You know what I mean? This guy's killed my livelihood. When you think of MMA, you just think UFC. You don't think of no other companies, nothing like that. When before it was just wide open, So that's my whole thing of the monopolization. I'm not favor of one guy running the sport. Even Don King wasn't trying to do that. You know what I mean? He didn't mind thing, but he had a different multiple. He had his own network. He used to use Showtime. He used to use HBO and his own network. So my whole thing is this year, any one person monopolize our sport. I'm not down with that. I'm not down with none of that politics or politicians getting into our sport. Right? This is why us lot on the YouTube boxing community, we're free to give our voices. And our voices are powerful. Right? They very are, and they rattle the foundation. Without us Some of the big fights don't happen. That's the way I see it. And we make the big fights because we talk about them on a daily basis. Now, whether you're with AJ, whether you're with Fury, whether you're with Wilder, regardless, you bring your camps in and we help generate the numbers. When the actual fight happens, we make sure the numbers, because people who's a casual, they come to YouTube, they type in Deontay Wilder, they say, who's this video? This guy talking about this. Oh, I don't like what he's saying. You know what I mean? So we're pushing and thriving the sport. So without us, to me, boxing's dead. Boxing's dead and dead in the water. They need us. They need us more badly. And the people who are like the promoters, they should treat us much more fairly. They really do try and marginalize certain people. Like Michelle Joy Phelps, she's there. Even though sometimes she gets marginalized. Coogan gets all the access on with Eddie Hearn. But when he goes to other promotion, when I went to ITV, he doesn't get treated favorably like that. But only when he goes to Matchroom, he gets treated. He gets all the interviews, Eddie Hearn. He has the long hours in videos. So you know there's some favoritism there, right? Yeah. Then Frank Warren's like, well, I want Coogan over here now. So Coogan goes over to Frank Warren. Frank Warren interview. Frank Warren's not easy. He's not very easy guy. He doesn't really like the camera, but he knows he has to, because if he doesn't do it, he ain't gonna get numbers. So you see that battle between them. When you go to Frank Warren's podcast, listen, that is controlled to the max. People are scared to voice their opinion because they're worried about getting kicked out and their jobs and all that things. So when I get there, no one says anything. I'm the only one who's asking any questions. And everyone's looking at me, well, because I don't know the protocol that you're not supposed to ask no questions because it's Big Frank. In Eddie Hearn, when you go to his press conferences, when the press conference is done, have you noticed the media don't ask no questions? But when you go to Frank Warren's press conference, he still has an American format where the media on the floor can still ask the questions, which I prefer. I prefer directly. I don't have to have a one-on-one. You know what I mean? And this is what's going on in the big media thing, of what some people not aware of, that when the monopolization of these guys trying to control and damper our voices, they just go, yeah, they're all right, let's keep them on YouTube. But when they're okay to Eddie, but why do you keep coming to YouTube? Because that's what you do all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't want us, but yet you keep coming over it to see what we're doing. So that's my opinion.
That's your opinion. Monopoly talk. Yeah, can't be monopolized. Did you hold on a sec, John? Did you watch the Shakan Peters fight last night on?
The one on Channel 5 was heavy. Great show.
I fell asleep. What happened? Who won? Hey,
Craig Stevens. He knocked him down. Knocked him down 5 times and won the British title. So he's there. And 5 times. Tunde, I'm sure Tunde and the Yard will be eyeing that. Say, you know what? We want that fight there. Because if I was them, I'd leave Lyndon Arthur, and because the British title is a bit more prestigious, and go for that fight. They know Craig Richards as well. You know, they know him at the gym. That'd be a good fight for TV, and they should go for the British belt. I think that's what they should do if they wanna stay domestic. Get the British belt. You know, so it was a good fight, because you know it was that guy. He was the champion, and we wanted to see. I thought he was just there to be as cannon fodder, but nope. Yeah. Craig Richards turned that around. That's what boxing. You watch the fights, man. Craig put it on him, man. It was one of Craig's best performances.
Damn. I fell asleep. I was supposed to go live last night, but I was just shattered from work, man. I was just shattered. So I couldn't do it. But rest assured, I'm going to take a look at that fight and talk about it at an appropriate juncture. I think, John Dealey, I think you wanted to say something. Was it you or was it the fight doctor?
I was going to say something. I mean, I agree with EJ and where he's coming from. But I think it's too hard to be against the monopolization of boxing.
Boxing can't be it shouldn't be monopolized. I mean, I think
I agree with that completely. But I don't think it's possible because of all the history. The UFC just doesn't have things like the WBC's association with Muhammad Ali. There's no equivalent of that in mixed martial arts.
No, they don't.
They just don't have that type of heritage.
So I have a question. I have a quick question for the panel.
Okay. Okay.
Who was the heavyweight champion the night Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier fought in the first fight?
That's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. That's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. We chopped that up. We're not going to go around no circles. I'm here Monday, Wednesday.
He's like a duck with a bone.
You're like a duck with a bone. You're like a duck with in your tail.
We're talking about British grassroots here.
We're talking about something totally.
We're talking.
You're like a dog.
We're actually talking about what America needs to do. EJ Boxing follows and puts out there very well.
Yeah.
The American, what's it? I can't even remember because it's not even considered a title anymore. What's the American equivalent of the British title? It's the US. Is it USB? What is it?
So we have like the New York State heavyweight champion. I think there's a Southern District heavyweight champion or title.
No, you also have like a national title. It's US something.
NBA title. It's the NBA title, right?
Yeah, something like that. So the IBF has a subsidiary called the USBA.
The US. Yeah, but there's an old one as well.
Yeah,
and you used to use the system where being the champion of America meant something, like it does here.
So
when I was a kid, Fight Doctor, Henry Cooper used to do advert after advert after advert, and he was loved by the British public just for being the British champion. That was enough.
Yeah, it was.
And it's still an important title, and
Yes,
it
it is.
facilitates a good route. Amateur boxing. Look at how fantastic Americans' history of amateur boxing was, and look at what's happened to it.
What happened to it, John? What happened to it, Fight Doctor?
The amateurs are all playing in NBA and NFL.
Okay.
Well, I thought the amateur welterweights are playing in the NBA and NFL.
So
You're not even winning the welterweight gold medals.
So here's the problem, right? So as the heavyweight division goes, so goes boxing. So the spotlight has been taken off of American heavyweight boxing because the athletes who would be fighting as American heavyweights are playing basketball and playing football. So
that wasn't true in the 70s, though, in terms of amateur. So in the 70s, your best amateur was the welterweight.
What in the 70s?
His name is a guy you might have heard of called Sugar Ray Leonard. I don't know if you've heard of him.
So again, in the 70s, we had an excellent heavyweight program. We had excellent heavyweights back in the 70s. The best heavyweights in the world were American.
Welterweights in the amateur division when you've not had good heavyweights.
Okay, but we had a better boxing program in America overall. The argument that
you can't just put that. You can't just blame the Klitschko era for the demise of
I'm
amateur.
I'm not blaming I'm not blaming. It's got nothing to do with the Klitschko era. In fact, the decline of American boxing started before the onset of the Klitschko era. This is a process that's been going on since about the 80s. Actually, you probably argue since about the 70s, because
I disagree with that, because arguably your best ever amateur team was the 80s team.
Was in 1984, the 84 team. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
But what have we done since then? Not much.
Well, yeah, but you can't just put it all on decline of the heavyweight division, because going into the early 80s, the heavyweights was in the doldrums because Larry Holmes was such an unpopular champion.
Yeah, but again, as the heavyweight division goes, so goes boxing. That's true.
But that doesn't hang true in this case, Fight Doctor, because as soon as Larry Holmes beat Muhammad Ali, the heavyweight division went into the complete doldrums, and we had the Four Kings. And then you've got the 1984, arguably the best ever amateur team America's ever produced.
All right, so let's look at the era in heavyweight boxing post Larry Holmes. What happened? We had Mike Tyson. So the 80s are basically is the story of two eras. The early 80s was Larry Holmes. The late 80s was Mike Tyson. Then after that, you get the Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis era, which was the 90s. Agree? Do we agree?
From a heavyweight point of view.
From a heavyweight point of view, exactly. So
yeah.
So what happened during the 90s? We had actually some very good American heavyweights, but the best heavyweight of the 90s was not an American. It was Lennox Lewis. He was the best heavyweight of the 90s. And we actually had some other non-American heavyweights who were pretty good, but on a whole, we did have a stretch of some very good to great heavyweights in the 90s from America. So we did have Mike Tyson. We had Riddick Bowe. I'm sorry?
Put a ball on it.
So we had Mike Tyson. We had Riddick Bowe. We had, of course, Evander Holyfield. And those are three very good heavyweights and great heavyweights in the 90s. We had Michael Moore, who was a good heavyweight. George Foreman, of course, the all-time great. All right. So we had the 90s, but then after the 90s, after about like 95, really, American heavyweight scene has been in decline ever since. And it has not come back. And from the way things are looking, it's not going to come back because, in my opinion, reason being is that the athletes who would be your great American heavyweights are playing basketball and football.
Okay.
And,
Put a ball on it, please. Put a ball on it. Wrap it up because we got to go. People got to eat.
Right. Well, as a result of the shine having been taken off of the American heavyweight scene, that has trickled down to the rest of the lower weight classes, because Americans have always been sort of focused on the heavyweight division.
Okay. So we took a detour, and that's cool. But that brings us to the end of the show. It's a very good one. Fight Doctor brings a different angle, different perspective. I call it crazy. You might call it whatever you call it, but nonetheless, you got to give him credit for coming over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio and expressing his views, however unconventional they may be. So, always give Fight Doctor credit for his particular brand of logic. And of course, we had the John D. Lee, always bringing his particular brand of logic, which some people may find a bit more logical. But anyway, that's opinion. And of course, we have the EJ of the EJ Boxing. Saw him on Lady Chan's channel. Had his own microphone with the EJ Boxing on it. Looking like a young Trevor McDonald. So we're gonna go around the table and as a compliment, by the way, we're gonna go around the table and let people have their final says on whatever they want to have their final say on. Okay, the Rafi's got TTD's gotta get some food in the system. But first of all, let's go with the who came on first. Let's go with the Fight Doctor. Fight Doctor, your final words on the thing as a whole, please. Thank you. Fight Doctor. The Fight Doctor, leave the mushroom risotto alone. Just put it on a low heat. Okay, the Fight Doctor is absent. AWOL. Okay. Oh, the Fight Doctor's back. Fight Doctor, your final words overall, please. Fight Doctor.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Sorry.
Yeah, your final words overall. Thanks for coming over. Thanks for coming over and sharing your brand of logic.
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Is I'm looking forward to Luis Ortiz putting Dillian Whyte on his back for the second time in a row and taking James Jameson's money. And definitely want to finish the debate with Mr. Dealey on the lineal heavyweight championship and its importance.
Yeah,
whether he recognizes it or not.
Wednesday, Fridays, and some Saturdays. The Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio is always here. And so, thank you very much, the Fight Doctor. Thank you very much for your attendance and participation. And then we go to the EJ Boxing. EJ Boxing. Your final words, please. First of all, thanks for coming over and sharing your observations. Your final words, please. EJ Boxing. OMG. EJ Boxing, where's he gone? He's fallen off. EJ Boxing's fallen off. And so that leaves us with John D. Lee. John D. Lee, your final. First of all, thanks for coming on over. And your final words, please.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun.
Indeed. A lot of fun.
I am skeptical that the Whyte Ortiz fight gets made. But if it does
Well,
get made, it'll be a fun.
I'm in contact with Xavier's coach, as you know, so I'll be bringing.
It's not really. It's not about Dillian wanting to make the fight. I'm skeptical that Lewis will accept the offer because he's got a track record of turning them down.
Yes.
But if it was to be made, it would be a fun fight. And win or lose, I think from Dillian's point of view, he's used to making good money.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a pay-per-view fighter without a world title. And the reason that he is because he fights good opposition and people want to see him fight. I think Dillian knows that. And he knows that the Lewis Ortiz fight will sell and he'll make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Win or lose. So I think that's why Dillian's up for it. Yeah, it's been fun. With it being Oluwafemi week, I'm gonna go and have some Ever and Okra soup. And for those who don't know, Oluwafemi means God loves me. So whether fight doctor likes AJ or not, somebody else is looking after him.
Yes.
Thanks, Rafi.
Yes, thank you, John Daly. Thank you, John Daly. And that was the John Daly. That was the fight doctor. And that was the AJ boxing. So finally, we come to a resolution. I didn't mean to go this long, but, I had to chop up some things. There were some things we had to talk about, and that we certainly did. Okay, so what can I say? It's the Dillian Whyte versus old man Ortiz. Luis Ortiz, the old man of the division, has accepted. It appears he has accepted the challenge, and he is to fight Dillian Whyte in the UK. So hopefully that comes off, and that's fantastic news. That's fantastic news for everybody. Worldwide boxing. And of course, there is the Canelo versus Smith fight taking place in the wee hours of the morning tonight. I don't know what time it is. Depending on what time, I may go live. With that. The Canelo versus Smith over here. Where is it? It's in America? Well, that's going to be like 3 in the morning or something. Yeah, if it's that late, then nada. If it's that late. But otherwise, then sure. If it's earlier, like about 1 a.m., then we can do that. That's no problem whatsoever. No problem whatsoever. And yeah, so I think we've wrapped it up. It's been a good one. Very entertaining one. Over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And hopefully everyone enjoyed it. And yes, what can I say? We go live Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and some Saturdays. So it's been good to have everybody on the panel. Thank you to everyone on the panel. Thank you to, I almost forgot Iron Kong. Iron Kong was on here earlier also. Thank you to everyone on the panel. Thank you to everyone who jumped in the chat. And so, what can I say? It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares. And it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And we are out. The only thing left for me to say is